Oh boy. Nice. Okay. I once again haven't done a stream in a minute. I already have an idea of what I'm gonna film today. Stephanie Sue just released a new video. Of course, I'm gonna react to it. I said I know what I'm gonna film, but I forgot to take it out of my dryer. W me. But anyway, I am excited to see. Well, I feel like it's very weird to see that you're excited about watching. I wouldn't say I'm excited. I guess I'm curious. Let me rephrase that. I'm curious to see what today has for us. There you go. That's the palette that I was looking for. I'm gonna go pink today. Let's go. I also have like a few little expired mangoes. Okay, sir. Expired mango is crazy. Why are the mango expired, huh? Why are the mango expired? Can you tell me that? Do you have something to say? Because if no, then I'm just gonna pretend that you didn't see anything, and I'm gonna move on with my life.
Boo.
Aliens just never land in Central Park. They are rarely ever spotted flying above Times Square. It's a thing. It's like extraterrestrial beings just have an aversion to high costs of living and expensive real estate. But you will see a UFO flying over a cattle ranch in the middle of Montana. And the only witness to that is going to be a guy named Dale, who takes a quick picture of it on his russet potato that he has now converted into a camera. And to be fair, maybe the aliens, they could be flying over Times Square and we just don't see it. But the concept of it is interesting. Why always in the middle of nowhere? Why do aliens choose to fly the routes that they choose? It's almost like if you want to go see an alien, you have to go to the middle of nowhere, where you least expect it. And for Mateo, the place that he least expects to see something out of the ordinary, out of this world, is the local pizza shop. Mateo is driving to town. It's a town called Nuremberg, and this is in Germany. It's about 2 hours from Munich. He's in the driver's seat. His friend that he dragged along for no reason other than the fact that he did not want to go on a lonely road trip is sitting in the passenger seat. They start driving, and it's towards this highway ramp where there's like a little pizza shop. It's a local pizza shop. Everybody knows this pizzeria. It's not like the most delicious pizza in the world. It's not like the hottest restaurant. It's just been around for a while, and the locals like it. As they're driving past this restaurant, Mateo glances out the side of his window, and in that exact moment, he sees something. And his friend's head in the passenger seat almost hits the dash because Mateo is slamming on the brakes, and his friend is like, what the hell is that? Mateo barely responds. He just says, quote, "Screw Nuremberg. There's something more important right now." He does the quickest U-turn he can physically manage. He pulls right up into the lot of the pizza restaurant. It's honestly a surprise that he puts the car into park because he's just flying out the driver's side door. He walks straight up to a girl with very long dark hair standing in front of the pizzeria. She looks very like skittish. Her eyes are really big and she's staring at him and he's staring at her and she's staring at him. And he says the first thing he asks her is, Are you dead?
What?
She's staring at him and she responds slowly, I don't know. And then she runs away. Mateo jumps back into his car and he's gotta follow her because she's not supposed to be here. I mean, she's not supposed to be anywhere. She's supposed to be dead.
Okay.
We would like to thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support the Immigrant Legal Resource Center, a nonprofit focused on immigrant civic engagement, education assistance, and local policy interventions to protect the rights of all immigrants. This episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team, and we'd also like to thank you guys for your continued support. As always, full show notes are available at RottenMangoPodcast.com. Disclaimers. There are brief mentions of DV self-exit in today's case, so please watch with caution. Today's case also takes place in Germany, so we had help from our translators to navigate the language barrier as we were researching. We do our absolute best to ensure everything is represented accurately, but do keep in mind that all statements and quotes have been translated and then may even be condensed for brevity. So with that being said, let's get started. Before the dead woman even has a name, they already have a suspect. Everyone in town has pointed the finger at who they think they did it. They're tagging him in Facebook posts about the news.
Him?
The dead woman found in the car, he's the one that did it. And his name is Rowan. They want Rowan to know that they think it's him before he goes down for it. I knew it before the cops did. Those are a lot of Facebook comments, which is exactly how Rowan ends up in this all gray room sitting on a small square table. The squareness is really inconvenient for him because he has one officer sitting on the left, one officer on his right. It's very suffocating. I mean, they couldn't get a bigger table. I'm sure the size is likely the intention though. Usually when the local town starts tagging, "This is the killer," in Facebook comment sections, I mean, the police have a picture of who it's going to be, and Rowan does not fit that picture. He's young, like very young, early mid-20s. He looks fit, he's well groomed, he kind of has this soft energy to him. He kind of looks like an Instagram model. I mean, not that
Okay, but Rowan is also Arabic, and with the entire immigration push right now, I bet people probably decided to point their finger at him because he looks Arabic, not because he actually did it. That's my guess.
measure someone's morality. If anything, it probably decreases the morality, but like, it's just not what detectives are expecting, especially because he came in here voluntarily. The detectives were looking for him and he said, "I will come to you." And that is how for the next 4.5 hours, they're sitting in this gray room together on a square table, and the female detectives are sitting on either side of him. And the first question they ask Rowan is, "How are you?" He looks at them. "You know what? I feel an absolute emptiness and utter chaos inside." That's a direct quote. For the past 24 hours, Rowan says he was scared to go outside. Everyone in his phone is texting him, sending him social media posts, writing things like, "You're a wanted man. They're gonna want your head for this. You're gonna go down for this. So did you do it? Did you kill her?" So yeah, I mean, he's seen better days, okay? But why would everyone accuse him of killing the girl that was stabbed 56 times to death in the back of her car? The car was parked on a residential street. It's like one of those tree-lined residential streets. I mean, was the car parked in front of his house? Did he leave fingerprints? Why does everyone think it's Rowan? It's because the woman that was found dead is Sherry. Shara Ben K, but they call her Sherry. And it's his ex-wife. They met in 2015. It's kind of like one of those meet cute dramas. He's explaining to the officers. It was at a subway station. Rowan is going up the escalator and Sherry is walking down the stairs right next to it. And he says, quote, "It's a very special moment for me. I mean, I saw this girl, beautiful. Like, huh? Her hair was so beautiful." They make eye contact. The rest is history. But now Sherry's parents are adamant that Rowan had something to do with their daughter's death. They just know it. The detectives ask him, "Why do you think that they think you're the one who did it?" It's a really, really long story. This all starts unfolding less than 24 hours ago.
Call. Just follow the storyline. And then if you need help with the necramec, just let me know.
23-year-old Sherry tells her parents that she's gonna go see her ex-husband, Rowan, at Rowan's house. But by 10 p.m., she's still not home, and everyone in the family, probably everybody in the town, knows that Sherry and Rowan's relationship, ex-relationship, not good. Not good at all. So whatever they're meeting for could not have gone well if she's still not home. She's also not picking up her phone. Sherry's parents start getting anxious. They're thinking, but it's still Rowan. Like, there's no way that he could do anything. I mean, they jump into their car and they start driving the road that Sherry would have taken to get to Rowan's house. And in the middle of a residential tree-lined street, they stop the car. Because they're like, isn't that her car? Isn't that not Sherry's Mercedes? They park the car in the middle of the road, they jump out, and they start looking in the car. This is not where Rowan lives. It's like on the way to Rowan's house. So it's very weird. Like, it looks like Sherry's car. It has the same tinted windows, but like maybe it's not her car. So they stop, they get out, and the front is empty. It's a E-Class coupe, E300. It's kind of relevant because the back windows are much smaller and they're tinted extra dark. So nobody's in the front, but now they're trying to peer through the back. They're cupping their eyes. They're like sticking their face as close to the window as they can. And they're like, it's Sherry. Sherry's in the back. They see in the back seat, there's a woman with long brown hair.
they
She's
saw her
laying
dead
just like
body?
splayed out on the back seat, on her back. She has a jacket covering her, but you can see her hair. You can see that she's just laying there and she's not moving. It's not like she's taking a nap. Sherry's parents start pounding on the window. One of them starts with all their strength, just trying to brute force open the door. It's locked. The car key isn't inside the car, which is weird because if this is Sherry's car and Sherry's inside the car taking a nap or something, would the car not unlock? By this point, you know, it's a small residential street. Neighbors have started coming outside. They're wondering who the hell is screaming. A lot of them are angry until they see Sherry's parents and they're like, oh, okay, we have no right to be angry. Something bad is happening. We gotta help. Some of them are coming up trying to smash the windows with Sherry's parents. Someone tries to break in through the passenger seat. Someone's trying to crawl under the car. Like someone's calling 911. It's chaos. And then the police arrive. They smash open the car window, unlock the car, and they create this like human barricade as they carry Sherry out of the car and immediately place her on the ground. Neighbors, the quick thinking ones, they're also creating a wall in between the police and Sherry's parents because Sherry is gone. She's drenched in blood. Her entire body is covered in punctures, stab wounds, all around her chest, neck, face. Her face looks like she's just been completely torn apart. It would make more sense had she been mauled by an animal, but it's clearly much more sinister than that. Like, there are clear knife puncture wounds. From neighbors' accounts, Sherry's mom is uncontrollably screaming, trying to fling her own body through the neighbors, through the police, so that she can get to Sherry. Other neighbors, new neighbors, they start running out of their house because they see some sort of commotion, and they say that it was a really difficult sight. When they run towards the crowd, you just see some of the neighbors are standing there with a very somber look. One person at the scene says, the paramedic who was on site, the one who had actually attempted resuscitation, struggled for, instance, to place the breathing mask over her mouth because her face was so utterly destroyed by stab wounds that the device simply could not create a proper seal. It was clear that this is no longer a living body. At the scene, Sherry's dad is announcing while his daughter is on the ground, Rowan did this. I just know that he has something to do with this. And now Rowan is sitting inside this police interview room. Why would Sherry's parents think that he's involved? Rowan tells them everything about their relationship, Sherry getting pregnant, her parents, the soap incident, everything in between. And then he tells them, you have to understand, I was with Sherry for 7 years. I went through a phase where I was so desperate for revenge, was driven by vengeance. I was really scared that either she would hurt me, I would hurt myself, or that she would force me to hurt her.
Force you to hurt her is weird.
After 4.5 hours, everyone in the interrogation room decides it's time for a break. Rowan is not formally under arrest, so he asks to go outside to smoke a cigarette. And as he's lighting up his cigarette, taking his first quote, I took a deep drag, the female officer walks out and she's got like a weird look on her face. And she just says, she's alive.
She's alive?
Yeah, like what do you mean she's alive? He just got grilled for the past 4.5 hours because they thought he killed her. What do you mean she's alive? They confirmed that Sherry was just now found alive, caught on CCTV camera, a dead woman walking, or at least she was supposed to be dead. Rowan says in a very confused state, like, Sherry's alive, but then another girl is dead.
Exactly.
Yes. But then who is the other girl?
So
and
died?
Why was she found dead in Sherry's car? It seems like a modern book trope. You meet your doppelganger and they slowly come into your life and they decide, I think this is my life now. And they do whatever it takes to slowly drive you crazy, isolate you from your loved ones, and then one day you go missing, you come back, you knock on the door, and a woman who looks just like you opens the door and she claims that she's you. She's married to your husband, your kids call her mom, all your friends think that she is you, but not only that, they like her better than they ever liked you. What the hell is going on, okay? That seems like a new and fresh trope, but it's actually a trope that's been around for hundreds of years because there is terror in the idea of being replaced. I think the fear that identity makes someone unique is not unique at all is a big fear. That your identity and your life can be studied and then someone can rehearse it and then they can just take over your life by pretending to be you as if like it's just a jacket that you can put on. Even the classics love this trope. Dostoevsky wrote Double, where the main character is like this meek government clerk. And he meets a man who looks exactly like him. Same face, same name, same everything, same job. Everyone loves him. Nobody likes the main character, but everybody loves him. So his double doesn't just steal the main character's life, he lives the main character's life better. Sometimes the doppelganger and the main character, like Edgar Allan Poe's William Wilson, the main character is being stalked by a double who shares his name, face, they even have the same birthday. The doppelganger just keeps ruining the main character's life and reputation, sleeping with married women, pretending to be him, conning people. Eventually, he has enough and he stabs the doppelganger, only to find out it's just himself. Sometimes the doppelganger is you. Sometimes the doppelganger is very real. And you have to run for them. And sometimes it's a hostile takeover. Sometimes you see someone who looks just like you and you think, what if I took over their life? Imagine you meet someone who looks identical to you. Nobody would ever be able to tell you apart. But they're an Oscar-winning actress living in a mansion with an infinity pool and a husband who chases her around just to get her affection because he's a dog on a leash for her. Her friends are super supportive. They all have a book club where they read nonfiction books about how to better themselves, but not in the annoying way. In the way that they just want to show up as better friends for one another. All of her bills are on auto pay. She doesn't even need to know how much the electricity bill is every month. She takes spontaneous trips to Tokyo for cherry blossom season. And all you have to do is kill her to take her life. Do you do it? No. Most people are going to say no. But I think maybe like most people should have a few glasses of wine and think about it at night in a way that's non-judgmental. It's just part of human nature. Some people will be a little bit more honest with themselves of, I might at least think about it. Which is why the new secondary feeling around doppelgangers is, it's a death omen when you meet yours. Because you're not supposed to meet them. It's like a glitch in the universe. When you meet someone who looks just like you, exactly like you, something really bad is going to happen to you. Because one of you has to die. I mean, both of you can't be alive, right? That's the omen. But what are the odds that you run into someone who looks exactly like you? I mean, it's likely very, very low. Even with social media, you have people who look similar, but I've never seen two people where I'm like, no, they could literally take over the other person's life. They're identical in every sense of the word. Their loved ones would never know. So what are the odds that you come across your doppelganger? But then what do you do when someone who looks just like you messages you on Instagram and wants to meet up?
How will they know? They're gonna know. How will they know? All right. So this thing that you just said, I'm wondering, like, is it what happened? Because I feel like if what she's saying is what happened, that's kind of dumb. No offense, but that's kind of dumb. Like, because again, we've seen it in movies, but also I feel like that's the kind of shit that would be extremely hard to actually replicate. That's why when we see it, it's fictional. But in reality, I feel like that's the kind of things that you wouldn't see because it's not. I mean, come on now. We can't be acting like that shit would be super easy. It would not. It would not be super easy. It would be actually pretty fucking hard. Oh, you've been well. Also, hey, Endless Cemetery. Sorry, I was not reading the chat. I was looking at something. You can write a movie this crazy, life strange than fiction. I mean, look. I mean, we wrote movies like this already. Like, I remember seeing a movie that is similar, so that's why I'm like, we've seen this before. We've seen this before. Like, it's been a movie. Like, there's a movie that came out with this trope before, so you know. But
total
I want
of
to know
26
who died. If the girl that we thought was alive, if the girl that we thought was dead is alive, who the fuck was in her car?
Messages are sent out to 26 people who could all pass somewhat as doppelgangers. Not really, but kind of. They're all in their early 20s. They've got dark long hair, specific facial features. They're between 5'2", 5'4" in height, brown eyes, dark hair, olive undertone skin. To say they look identical would be a lie. But if you take off your contacts and you take 3 shots of tequila and you sit on a vibration plate on the highest setting while everything is shaky and blurry, and you see a photo lineup of the 24 people, you could potentially mistake a few of them as being each other. They all have similar features, but so do like half of the world. If you actually study their faces, they don't actually look alike, but that's okay because perfection is not what Sherry is looking for. Khadijah is one of the 26 girls who receives a message. A lot of people online have been calling her a beauty blogger, and she certainly is beautiful, and she certainly has a high interest in makeup. She also posts on TikTok and Instagram, but a lot of her friends don't love that title because just the negative connotation, it almost dumbs her down. Khadijah worked at a cafe, she worked at a restaurant. Her best friend that she grew up with says that she was always someone who had a knack for languages. She just learns languages so quickly, so she wanted to become an interpreter, get married, have kids of her own. That was her dream. And then 23-year-old Khadijah gets a message, and it's going to lead to a series of events that is now called the doppelganger case in Germany.
Brother.
Sherry, she is not living the life that she's always wanted. I mean, who is? But like, Sherry isn't someone who likes to just sit there and accept her fate. Is it her fault that her family immigrated to Germany when she was 7 because they were being hunted down and killed for their religion? Obviously not. But Sherry is trying to adapt. Everyone said that during school, Sherry was like the center of attention, and she very much liked male-centered attention. And like, objectively speaking, she just liked to be around guys. Most of her energy was placed into which guys she could talk to after school. And then even later in life, it was all about guys, okay? And people start stating, this is very inappropriate, but people started stating that she had a very seductive behavior about her. Which, I mean, is inappropriate to say the least, but she starts dating this guy named Rowan near the end of high school, and she's at this subway station kissing him when she hears this familiar voice behind her, "Get your hands off my niece." It's her uncle. Which now would be a pertinent time to let you know that Sherry's parents incredibly strict. They do not want her dating anybody, and she's just making out with this guy named Rowan at a subway station. She is 18, but this is still very young for her family. And Sherry's uncle is pissed. And allegedly, instead of informing Sherry's parents about what he saw, he starts blackmailing Sherry. He's like, I'm just gonna blackmail you. I don't know what he's getting from Sherry, whether it's money or something else. I have no clue.
How do we know he blackmailing her?
A lot of inner sources close to Sherry were saying she was getting blackmailed by her uncle.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Why would they blackmail her?
But he starts blackmailing her about her relationship. Eventually, Sherry's parents, they find out regardless, and they urge Sherry and Rowan, then you guys just need to get married. If you're going to date, you're going to fucking get married. All of this only works out because Rowan is Yazidi. Yazidism is one of the oldest continuously practiced religions in the world. It's an ethno-religious faith. It's like a closed-door religion. So you have to either be born into it, you cannot convert into it, and once you leave it permanently. In 2014, ISIS launched a coordinated attack against Yazidis. The incident has been recognized by the UN as a genocide. Thousands of Yazidis were beheaded, burned alive, killed. More than that they were kidnapped and enslaved and trafficked. Jesus. Young boys were forced into ISIS training camps. Young girls, some as young as 9 years old, were either trafficked or sold or gifted to ISIS soldiers. Okay. So in 2014, a lot of Yazidi believers, they fled to neighboring countries, and Germany ends up being like a huge one for the diaspora. A lot of the Yazidi community had already been steadily growing in Germany, so people are like, we gotta go to Germany. Two important things to note. One, there is a lot of tension between older Yazidi family members in Germany and younger generations of Yazidi in Germany. Because there's a lot of complaint. I mean, a lot of these elders, they're like, we fled for our lives because of our religion. Like, these are our traditions. We need to stand by this. We almost lost our lives for what we believe in. And then the younger ones that are born in Germany or have been raised in Germany, they're like, I just want to scroll on TikTok and date people. And a huge problem is in the Yazidi religion, you can only marry another Yazidi. And they have to be in your caste. Yazidi has a caste system. So the top are religious and community leaders. Then you have the priests. And then you have the majority. So 3 castes. And you have to marry someone in your same caste. I hate castes. A lot of people in Germany, the younger Yazidis, they're like, well, I don't even know if I want to marry someone who's also Yazidi because most of the people that I grow up with are not. But Rowan happens to be Yazidi, and so is Sherry. And not only that, they're the same caste. So despite the fact that the two families, Rowan's parents and Sherry's parents, do not get along, they actually really, really don't like each other, they end up getting married and they open up a hair salon together. It's mainly Rowan's. He has his own barbershop. Sherry starts doing like facials there, and sometimes she does updos for brides and these like women's hairstyles. But aside from that and a few strange incidents, like Sherry breaking into Rowan's brother's house and then taking a taser to his neck, and tasing him in the back of the neck and then immediately apologizing and begging for forgiveness, other than some strange incidents like that.
Huh?
The couple seems normal.
What?
What does that mean? Like that
Yeah.
she's just they got into a fight and she just decided to physically assault him and attack him.
She felt like Rowan's brother did not like her.
Okay.
Okay, and that's her.
So she broke into his house and tased him in the back of the neck with a taser. And then he turned around and she started apologizing profusely.
Fascinating. So you think she tried to attack him thinking that he wouldn't find out, but turned out he saw her?
Perhaps because she does try to kill him later, but we'll get more into that in a second.
What is happening
Yeah.
in this family?
So from the outside, aside from some of the weird incidents that people have kind of heard about, the couple seems normal enough. And then in 2020, Sherry is
Normal
barely
where?
20 years old and she gets pregnant. But not with Rowan's baby. He says their entire relationship, he could practically smell the other men on Sherry. Rowan calls Sherry's dad very emotional. He's like, I can't do it anymore. He won't even let Sherry's very domineering dad talk. He's like, let me talk. It's my chance to talk. I'm speaking now. These are direct quotes. I have nothing to lose. I'm going to talk and you will listen. Rowan tells Sherry's dad everything. And at the end, he tells him, I'm not going to do this anymore. I don't want to be with Sherry anymore.
أفجعنا من بوراندي لك من خلاص دماهيكات من شوابتن من واقوتي قبط لك من خلاص بردانة وخلاص.
And then there's just silence. And then on the other end, Sherry's dad tells Rowan,
I love
If you
hearing
had
like Arabic language. I find that it sounds so fucking good. I'm sorry. But like hearing people speak Arabic, any Arabic language, I'm like, I like it. I'm sorry.
abandon my daughter, it will cost 3 human lives.
What?
What does that even mean? To this, Rowan just responds, then I would rather die by a bullet from you than die a little every day with your daughter.
Who are the 3 lives?
What
Did
is
he say?
It's gonna work out in a weird way. He never said. Now, maybe Sherry is so done with her life, she decides she doesn't want to live it anymore. Maybe she can take someone else's life, like all of those thriller books. Find someone that looks like her, that's living a better life than her, and then get rid of them and resume their identity. That's the plot of thriller books. But
Yeah.
that's not what Sherry wants to do. Sherry has a completely different plan. Instead of taking someone else's fate, she wants someone to take her fate. She wants someone to die for her.
I feel like ultimately this all happened because she was forced to marry a man that she did not necessarily love. Like, I feel like this is literally a case of, this would have not happened if y'all minded your motherfucking business. But nah, people did not mind their business, and now this girl is dead because, well, I'm not taking away the responsibility from her. I don't know what the fuck she did, but something tells me that she has something to do with, well, with the murder. But let people be with who they want, and don't force people to fucking marry when they're not ready. Cause what the fuck is this? I'm like, it sounds so dumb to me because, again, the reason why this works in movies is because movies are fictional. It's not meant to work in real life. Is this a kid drama? Bruh, marry my husband type shit. It's kind of similar to Marry My Husband, and Marry My Husband is so good, but damn.
And that is how Khadijah, a woman who knows nothing about Sherry, who has nothing to do with Sherry, the only connection between the two of them is that Sherry thinks that they look alike. I will say Khadijah is much more beautiful. But that's why Khadijah is found with her face bashed in with brass knuckles, stabbed in the face, neck, and chest, dead in the back of Sherry's Mercedes. Within days, Sherry is brought in and she's treated as the prime suspect of what the police originally thought was her murder. So she goes from being the presumed victim to the potential suspect. And by this point, a few things have occurred. When a body was found in the back of Sherry's car with dark brown hair, just like Sherry, her face is disfigured from stab wounds, but she's about the same height, the same weight. Everybody assumed it was Sherry. Sherry's parents went onto Facebook to post about her death, her murder, begging low.
Oh, that's why she was also stabbed in the face. So they wouldn't recognize her. But again, dumb. Absolutely fucking dumb. unless you're a twin, this would never fucking work. Crazy. This girl thought she was in the TV show The Blacklist. Like, this is not. It's so stupid. What the hell?
Locals to help identify who they think that did this to their daughter, even though they think it's Rowan. Sherry's parents are telling the police that if they had to put their money on anybody, it would be Rowan. The whole town is ready to form a mob and go burn down Rowan, the ex-husband's house.
Damn.
Meanwhile, the authorities are quietly doing a DNA test because they still have to make sure that this is Sherry. And there's something curious. The body in the car has a small tattoo on their arm, and Sherry's parents are adamant that she does not have any tattoos. So either Sherry lied about getting a tattoo or something weird is happening.
Oh.
That, and people keep calling into the police dispatch trying to frantically explain that they saw a dead woman. There's a guy who's like, I saw a dead woman at a pizzeria, I swear. So the police decide to bring her, the town ghost, in. The victim, the suspect, we don't know, okay? All we know is that Sherry is not that hard to find. She's not deep in hiding. She's just like there all the time. And she tells the police, it's the Albanians. And the police are like, what?
Misting.
The Albanians are after me. The Albanian mafia want to kill me. What? Okay, so the first person that Sherry points them to is a man named Shakir. He's the one that did this. He's after Sherry. So the police go after him, and they also arrest Shakir. The investigators, they start putting the pieces together. They quickly arrest Sherry and Shakir, but they still need to figure out who the body in the car is. They cross-reference with missing persons alerts in the neighboring areas, not just this town, but all the surrounding towns, and they identify the body to belong to Khadijah. And I'm only saying first names because German privacy laws identify each person as just their first name and last name's first initial. So it's like Sherbin K. Once authorities figure out that the woman in the car is Khadijah, they can actually start getting somewhere. They go through Khadijah's phone. They go.
No, like the reason why her parents thought it was her in the car is because, so basically she went missing, right? And she went missing, and so the parents started to basically drive around in the neighborhood wondering where the fuck she was, and then they found her car. The door was locked, but there was a woman that looked like their daughter in the car, and she had like a bunch of stab wound. So in their head it's like, oh my god, our daughter is dead. Our daughter was fucking murdered in her car, because with fucking stab wound in her face, she could have been easily seen as their daughter, but it was not their daughter. It was somebody else. Their daughter is wicked.
Through Sherry's phone, and they find a series of odd DMs on Instagram. The first one reads, "Hey love, would you like to take part in a music video? You have very good charisma and you will be paid very well. You don't have to do much. I would be happy if you would get in touch. Best wishes." And it's like a random account that has no followers. That account belongs to Sherbin K, Sherry. Just reaching out to Khadijah for a job to be part of a music video. Khadijah is like, hey, I'd be up for it, but I guess it depends on the genre of music and where it is. It's a well-known artist, and you probably know them too. Okay, what's their name? Maybe I know her. And where would the shoot be located? The shoot would be in Offenburg. You definitely know her, but this would all have to be kept secret until the song is released. They tell Khadijah the name of the singer, and it's a pretty big artist named Loon. So Loon has over 1 million fans on Spotify, almost 400,000 followers on TikTok, and Khadijah thinks it's a secret project, so I can't tweet about it, but like I could DM Loon and ask Loon directly. And the police find all of this on Khadijah's phone, and she's like, I hope you can give me an answer because I'm very, very unsure. A woman messaged me saying I'm filming a music video, supposedly for you. You know, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's fake or not. I don't want to go there and then something happens.
Honestly, I don't know if Loon answered her private DM of strangers. I mean, a lot of celebrities don't do that. But I like the idea that she did that. Because she's right. People on Instagram can be shady. Like, you have like opportunities every day of, oh hey, you can be an influencer, blah blah. Like, you know, you receive so much shit on Instagram. Is she YN? What is YN? A young nigga? I don't think so. Oh, it's okay, Red. I got you.
Ich hoffe, du siehst es und kannst mir eine Antwort geben, weil ich bin sehr, sehr unsicher. Eine Frau hat mich angeschrieben, zwecks einem Videodreh, angeblich von dir. Und jetzt, ich weiß nicht, ich bin mir nicht sicher, ob das fake ist. Nicht, dass ich da hinfahre und dann passiert irgendwas.
Loon responds to her, fake sister, don't go.
Wow.
And she responds, oh, okay, thank you. So Khadija ignores the music video request DM, but then another one comes in from another account. This DM reads, hey, good evening. We are looking for girls to test our new lasers. Would you like to collaborate? We offer permanent hair removal with the world's fastest and most effective laser, 100% pain-free. If you're interested in permanent hair removal, you can contact me at any time. We work with a state-of-the-art medical-grade laser that costs $2,500 per session. So they're saying, if you come to the salon and you get this laser treatment done and you just post about it, it's a free laser treatment.
Okay.
The only problem is Khadija lives 100 miles away from the salon because they give her the address to the salon.
What is it? Their home salon or?
It's Rowan's barbershop.
Bruh.
Wow.
And it's a 3-hour trip. So the salon manager is like, well, you know, I can pick you up from your house and then drop you off at the salon, do the salon laser for you, and then drop you back off at your house. All the DMs lead straight back to Sherry.
Bro, that's a lot. I don't even think Brent do this for a well-established influencer because that's a lot, girl. Like, what do you mean? And nobody's doing all of that. It sucks that she fell for it though. But like, also I get it. I mean, free laser. I might have been caught in too. Like, I might have been like, I mean, I like free shit, which is probably why I would have died. I love free shit. It is crazy. It is scary. It's actually like what is he doing and why?
August 17th, 2022, Sherry and Shakir get into the car together. They drive and they pick up Khadija, and on the way to the salon, it's getting dark, the sun is setting. In between Khadija's house and the salon, there's like this very long stretch of woods. It's like a forest. Sherry pulls over, pretending to be lost, and she asks Khadija to get out of the car to read the road sign. And that's when Sherry and Shakir both jump out. Shakir jumps on top of Khadija and starts stabbing her. They put Khadija back into the backseat of the car, drive all the way back into town, park Sherry's car on a residential road between Sherry's parents' house and her ex-husband Rowan's house, and then they leave. Sherry and Shakir leave, but they don't flee. They don't skip town. They just kind of linger around until they're both arrested. Why don't they leave town?
Are they
What's their
stupid?
plan? Who the hell is Shakir? And what the hell does he have to do with any of this? And why does he partake in this murder? Weeks before Khadija is killed, Sherry is going around being what one can only assume is the world's most insufferable pick-me. She's going to the bars in town, getting drunk, leaning in close to all the guys that she's friends with, acquaintances with, random dudes. Would you kill for me? She keeps asking them. Some of the guys think it's a great way to try and impress her and not go home alone. So they're like, of course I would. I would do anything for you. But they don't mean it. She knows they don't mean it. Other guys are put off. Some of them are straight up looking at Sherry and going, why would someone die for you? She says things like, I can be free forever and stay with you all the time. For most people, most normal, sane people, Sherry's reasoning that she can be free, stay with them all the time, intimate relation, it's not worth killing someone for.
It's not.
Except apparently Shakir. That's what the prosecutors are arguing.
Arguing what?
Shakir meets Sherry a few weeks before the murder, and she's like, would you kill for me?
Oh.
And we can be together. And he just does it.
So that's why they're saying that's his motive.
Yes.
He killed for her.
Yeah.
So his
But
motive
none
is
of these even make sense. Nobody even has an answer for why Sherry and Shakir killed Khadija. None of it makes sense.
Bruh.
When you're building something from the ground up, starting your dream business, I feel like the to-do list never really gets shorter. It just keeps getting longer. The right platform doesn't just help you keep up. It simplifies everything that you can do so that you can get back to doing what you
I cannot relate to this level of desperation. I cannot. Because like I do feel for the fact that she was forced into a life that she did not want. Like I do feel for that because it sucks and she should have been allowed to make her own choices and to live the life that she wanted instead of being forced into a life that she did not want. I can have empathy for that. But everything after that, at this point, girl, you should have just, I don't know, moved. Like, I don't know, girl. But murder was not the solution. That's for damn sure. But it must be complicated because it's a different culture too. So obviously, this is coming from the perspective of a girl who was not raised religiously at all and who lives in Canada. But you should, she should have left. I bet if she left, we wouldn't be here right now. Why did you stay, girl? Murder? That was your big plan? Child.
And Shakir, they're not going to give honest answers. So naturally, people have to come up with their own theories, even the prosecutors, with what they believe happened. The very first theory to come about is the doppelganger theory. Sherry doesn't like her life. She cannot escape her religious parents. And instead of walking away and starting over or just standing up to them, she decides she needs to fake her own death to get away from them. But she can't just disappear because they will never stop looking for her. The only way to get everyone to stop looking for her is if they know for certain she's not coming back. There needs to be a body, and that person needs to look like Sherry, which is why weeks leading up to Khadijah's murder, prosecutors find in Sherry's phone, she's got multiple Instagram accounts. She's DMing everyone that looks similar, even remotely similar to her, asking if they want a free laser treatment as long as they post an exchange on Instagram. Khadijah agrees. Sherry picks her up, has her killed, and places Khadijah's body in her own car on a street that her parents are likely going to go down looking for her. They're going to find her body. They're going to think it's Sherry because Khadijah's face was so...
It's the fact that not only she did all of that, but then she didn't even flee. She didn't even flee. She stayed around. Bitch, what are you doing? Like, if you're really gonna go through all of that to be a fucking monster, the least you could do is be fucking smart about it and leave. But she stayed. What was the fucking logic? It's so stupid. From the get-go, this whole story was stupid.
Violently disfigured, and everyone's just gonna assume it's Sherry because, like, who else would it be? And then Sherry would move on. What did Shakir get out of it? Probably intimate relations, love, who knows? The prosecutors are a little constantly wishy-washy about what Shakir gets out of it, but more on that later. The problem with the doppelganger theory, though, and there's a lot. The first one being, Sherry has 4 criminal defense attorneys. 2 of them are court-appointed, the other 2 her parents are paying for, and her attorneys argue that everyone is being racist by stating that they too look alike and that Sherry sought out a doppelganger just by the fact that all of them have dark hair and are of Iraqi descent does not make them doppelgangers. So they're saying if they're not doppelgangers, then this whole prosecutor theory of the doppelganger murder falls apart if they're not doppelgangers.
I'm confused.
And so, like, this becomes a whole thing during the trial where everyone's like, are they doppelgangers or not? And the judges are like, it doesn't matter if they're not doppelgangers because everyone in the room can tell that Khadijah is exponentially more beautiful than Sherry will ever be, which also depicts a level of self-awareness in Sherry herself, right? But they're saying it doesn't matter if they're doppelgangers as long as Sherry believed that they could be.
Yeah, exactly.
The attorneys are arguing, but that means if they're not doppelgangers, Sherry is not faking her own death with Khadijah's body.
That's what an argument.
The prosecutors, though, still have to prove that Sherry has motive for this theory, that she desperately needs to get away from her family, and she thinks that, like, she's crazy enough that she thinks this will work. Sherry is evaluated by a psychiatrist, and she spends 4 days with the psychiatrist. She comes out with no strong diagnosis, no sign of a disorder, not that that would absolve any guilt. However, she's mentally there. She's fit to stand trial. The psychiatrist testifies in court that she does have a tendency towards conflict. She's extremely impulsive, manipulative. She believes manipulation is the best way to get what she wants. And most importantly, a part that the defense latches on to. Right? The defense is like, the prosecutors say this is a doppelganger murder.
Is it?
Let me tell you why it's not. During Sherry's psychiatric evaluation, it is confirmed that her IQ stands at around 86. which they describe as, quote, just shy of a learning disability in Germany. Anything below 85 is indicative of a learning disability in Germany.
Oh my God.
So the defense are like, she's too dumb. Yeah, exactly. So by this point, okay, just to fill you in,
That's a
Khadijah
defense?
is found in Sherry's car. Very quickly, Sherry and Shakir are arrested. And everyone in the news becomes obsessed with this case. Everyone in Germany becomes obsessed with this case. It goes to trial, and it's actually one of the longest criminal trials in recent German history, especially in this area, because
Ow.
there's over 100 witnesses brought in. And the confusing part is, it seems like the prosecutors kind of drift between theories of what they think happened. And everyone's just trying to figure out what the hell happened. And the two defendants, Sherry and Shakir, Sherry's always lying. Anytime she opens her mouth, you can assume she's lying. She does testify, but nobody believes her. Shakir, dead silent. Won't say a single word. So everyone's like, why would you guys do this to a random girl that you don't even know? And the only connection is you were looking for people who looked like you, and you think that she looked like you. That's really
To be fair, I'm not surprised about the IQ thing because, like I said from the get-go, this shit was stupid. Like, from the get-go, this was just stupid. Because, again, unless you're a twin, you can't do that. You can't just have someone steal your life or DNA test, bitch. Like, she's actually stupid. I was right about
the only
that.
connection.
Right.
Other than all the physical evidence, right?
There's no clear motive. of
Exactly.
why they're committing the crime.
And so every motive that the prosecutors bring about, the defense are just trying to poke holes of like, well, she's too dumb. She's too dumb to carry something like this out. So the defense are like, she barely has a brain, okay? That's what the defense is arguing. Which the prosecutors, they start arguing back. We never said she was smart. If she was very, very smart, perhaps she would have realized how horrendous this plan is. But nevertheless, the prosecutors argue the motive is there. Forget intelligence for a second. Sherry has motive. Her life is falling apart. She wants to get away. So she wants someone to take her place for her death. She wants to be dead to her family.
Bruh.
The prosecutors bring in about 100 witnesses that testify about Sherry and Shakir. And one of the most important witnesses on that list, he went into hiding before the trial because he was terrified of sitting up on the stand. He thought someone was going to kill him to keep him
The
quiet.
husband?
Is the ex-husband, Rowan.
Yeah, that's
Who
what I
is he
thought.
scared of to kill him?
Because remember, Sherry's dad was like, 3 people are going to...
Oh, the dad. That's right.
So he comes in, he sits on the stand, and he starts testifying about his relationship, his marriage with Sherry, and it's not looking good. Multiple witnesses by this point have already testified that Sherry is known as a gas station groupie. It's
What
like
is
a
that?
thing when you live in the suburbs in a lot of places, including Germany, where you have nowhere to hang out. People just like loiter in gas stations, in the
Okay.
parking lots. They come in, rev their engine, they pump gas, and then they park near the gas station. They get a Slurpee and a beer, and then they sit in their driver's seat, rev their engine some more, and then hang out
So she likes to talk to guys
at the gas station.
Wow.
You can't even
Fascinating.
pay
Okay.
me to stay in a gas station for 2 seconds longer than I actually have to.
Yeah.
All the guys with their loud cars, they like to sit there, and Sherry will show up in her Mercedes, and one German reporter describes them like this, and I don't know what this means. They live in the suburbs, but they like to feel as if they're living in New York City in the Bronx.
Okay.
Like they think they're cool.
Right. Like,
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
You know.
I can see the visual. Okay.
Okay, it's almost as if this Mercedes also changed Sherry. Rowan is testifying like she has an obsession with this car. She loved this lifestyle, beautiful cars, fast driving, easy money. That's a quote. She's, helping move drugs, and it's very important for her, quote, to drive up and down the famous roads in Munich, listening to loud music and attracting attention. It's like the people that drive circles on Rodeo Drive, and you're like, well, I've seen you 20 times, okay? And he says the beginning of their marriage started out pretty normal. Eventually, Rowan starts noticing this very obvious pattern. Quote, she was always looking for arguments with me, just so she could storm out in anger. She'd be like, fine, I'm done with you. I'm not doing this anymore. Run out the house and be gone for 3 days.
3
And she
days?
would block his number. I mean, he can't even ask where she is, who she's with, and he can see right through it. It's not like a real fight. Like, she's doing this so that she can go be a gas station groupie. And she'll
3
go
days
out with a
is
bunch of
crazy
guys
when
each
you're
time.
married.
They're reportedly all in like a criminal world. If he tries to talk to her about it, It's just another way for her to start another fight that lasts 3 days so she can go out and loiter at gas stations. And that's how she ends up pregnant with some other man's child at 20, and she ends up terminating the pregnancy.
Wow.
Rowan tells her he's fed up with her, and he tells her, you know, I'm gonna talk to your parents. I've already called your dad. She turns around, and this is in their apartment. She hits him on the back of the head. She starts throwing things out of the cabinets. She grabs a bar of soap and is like whacking him with a bar of soap.
What the
He
hell?
flees to the bathroom and, quote, she slams my head onto the mirror. Everything goes black. I start feeling dizzy. So then when he wakes up, he's like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta pack my bags. I'm gonna go stay with my brother. He gets into the car and he starts having an epileptic seizure. The police get called out. There's footage of this, the police getting called out, him having a seizure in the car. And he says that because of this marriage, because of Sherry's violence, he had his jaw dislocated. He lost 30% of his vision in the right eye. These are all documented violent altercations. February 2018, she's convicted of aggravated assault for tasing her brother-in-law in the neck, Rowan's brother. October 2021, she tried to run her husband over with her car. November 2021, she assaulted her husband with a bar of soap and smashed his face into a mirror. There's a protection order prohibiting her from even approaching her ex-husband.
Hey, yo.
By this point, a few weeks leading up to Khadijah's murder, Rowan says the families have facilitated at least 3 peace meetings. So in Yazidi religion, marital disputes are resolved through community mediation.
Bruh.
Imagine like this is one of the
You cannot. The same way I would. I'm reacting the same way I would if this was a woman victim of abuse. No. Girl, run. Also, this is insane. And I find that even more crazy considering the fact that when they thought she was dead, they were like, oh, it's the ex-husband, it's the ex-husband, it's the ex-husband. If he wanted to kill her, I feel like he would have, because considering the amount of stuff he went through because of her, I'm not saying he would have been justified into killing her. I'm saying like I find that really kind of there's a part of me that is disgusted that the family would think it's their ex-husband, because do we have any documentation of her ever returning any of these hits towards his ex-wife? Because so far he seemed to be the only person in this relationship who has been abused. So
marital disputes become irreconcilable. Okay, side note, divorce and separation are a huge thing in Yazidi culture. Yazidism is a closed religion, so you can only be born Yazidi and you must marry another Yazidi, or else if you marry someone that's not Yazidi, you get excommunicated. Some communities have loosened up the rules a little bit to say that you're no longer excommunicated by your loved ones, but it really depends. It seems as if divorce is not unheard of. It's not encouraged, but more people are open to divorce. However, if after divorce you marry someone that is not Yazidi, that could lead to excommunication. So these peace meetings, it's like when you're about to have a divorce, all the male elders from both families will have meetings and try to talk to the couple to figure out how they can resolve their marital dispute. They have 3 mediation sessions. The first 2, Rowan's like, I'm not gonna do this. Okay, your daughter is like practically certified insane. And they just keep telling him how much she loves him, how much he means to her and all this nonsense. And Rowan is still trying to save Sherry's face, but he wants a divorce. And finally at the 3rd mediation, he's like, I know what I need to say. I just need to tell the truth. He says, if a husband says, your daughter has been cheating on me, then typically the father of the wife will tell the husband, okay, like, you decide what you want to do now. And he's like, I want a divorce. And that's the last time he saw Sherry. She moved out, moved back in with her parents. And that was a huge problem for Sherry. A lot of Sherry's friends were called in to testify by the prosecutors because the prosecutors are like, the doppelganger theory. Remember, she needs to get away from her parents. Her friends are sitting on the stand and a lot of German reporters are like, this is the most insane trial that we've ever covered in our lives. These little gas station groupies are cursing at the defense attorneys, are cursing at the prosecutors.
Oh, you mean all her friends are also gas station groupies?
Yeah, and all of them are sitting, like some German reporter was like, I've never seen someone sit with their legs as wide open, you know, like guys like to pretend like their ding dong is so massive that they can't even
you're saying that some of the guys are sitting with their legs are like reaching as far as they can.
Yeah, in a court setting is just inappropriate. But also, I think it's like
Interesting.
at that point they're like doing splits.
So these people are out here supporting Sherry.
No, they're just being called in to testify, and they just like snap at everyone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. All right.
So Sherry is complaining to her friends. Her friends are testifying like, yeah, I saw her after the divorce, and she's complaining that her dad would only let her leave the house for 20 minutes every single day.
Ouch.
So she goes from
she's an
living with
adult?
Rowan, being able to go out for 3 days at a time, be a gas station groupie.
Yeah.
And what's Rowan going to do about it? Nothing. But now that she's back with her very strict religious parents, after a divorce,
Yeah.
they're in full control. They're not letting her out of the house. They're not letting her be a gas station groupie. They're controlling everything that she does, and she's sick of it. One witness said, I saw her in the middle of the road. She was like parked on the side of the road. All of her car doors were open. The trunk was open. So I was like, is she looking for something? I thought maybe her car broke down. So I pulled over and I'm like, do you need help, Sherry? Like, did something happen to your car? And she dramatically pulls something out. And there's a little tracker in her fingers. And she just tells me, my father, that son of a bitch. I guess she found a tracker in her car and her dad is tracking her. So the prosecutors are like, look, she has every reason to want to get away from her family, and she can't. Then the prosecutors bring in Rowan's brother. Yeah, where the bizarre incident where she uses a taser to get him in the
Try to
neck.
kill
The
him?
brother-in-law testifies, she showed up to my house. I didn't even know her really at the time. I didn't even know who she was. She introduced herself to me as a friend of my brother. She was completely distraught. She was crying, claimed that Rowan was stealing and using drugs. And then she suddenly tased me in the back of the neck with a taser.
That's their first time meeting? Yeah. What in the world?
And then she ran down the stairs. Then she comes back up the stairs. He doesn't even chase after her because he's like on the ground, tased. She comes back up the stairs and said, I don't know why I did that. I'm so sorry. Please don't tell anybody. And starts profusely apologizing.
And he called the...
He said, I naturally went to the hospital and filed a police report. And he says, and then they got married. And then I met her uncles. The entire family is weird. They're weird. They also hated me, the brother. They just hated me. You know, one of Sherry's uncles said about Rowan's brother, we have a plan for him. Whatever that means. Yeah, they just keep saying
happening?
weird things. And Sherry blames the brother-in-law, stating, he made my life a living hell for Rowan and me. He was the one who persuaded my husband to force me to terminate my pregnancy. So Sherry is claiming that she was pregnant with Rowan's baby, and Rowan was like, that was definitely not my baby, trust me. And Sherry is like, well, your brother was the one that convinced you to convince me to terminate the pregnancy. I mean, both Rowan and his brother are like, that's definitely not true, okay? Now, Rowan's brother testifies, and then the prosecutors then bring in another guy. His name is Vulcan. He gets up on the stand, and he tells the judges, I'm the guy that Sherry paid to kill her brother-in-law, Rowan's brother. And everyone's like, what the hell is happening? He's like, that wasn't the original money-making plan, first of all, okay? So when I met Sherry, originally we were going to go into business together to open up a COVID testing center. Because, like, remember back then, you used to have to go to a testing center. They shove, like, a 3-foot-long Q-tip up your brain, like you're getting lobotomized. And then they wanted to do that. But instead, Sherry starts talking about perhaps before they do that, maybe you could kill someone first. And Vulcan is like, I should start going along with it. And the prosecutors are like, why are you going along with it? And they said, I don't know, she just seemed kind of dumb. And she had money, so he's like, I was going along with that. Sherry offers him $10,000. Kill Rowan's brother. I'll give you 5,000 euros in advance. Sherry thinks that her brother-in-law is the reason that Rowan even wants to get a divorce right now. So, you know, once he's gone, Rowan's going to be obsessed with her again. He's the one that supports this separation, so it must be his problem. The two of them, Vulcan and Sherry, they put together their approximately 7 brain cells. They come up with this masterful plan. The plan is he's going to kidnap Rowan's brother, administer date rape pills to him, change him into swim trunks, throw him into Lake Starnberg so that his death would appear to be a drowning. She tells Vulcan, all I need is photos to prove that you did.
Toxicology report would show that. Am I tripping? I was like, I'm not a CSI. I don't know everything, but wouldn't a toxicology report show that this is clearly not true? Or this girl is delusional. stupid. They look like pick a struggle. OMG. Like, it's one thing for you to be stupid, but like, I'm still gonna need you to pick a struggle because this amount of stupidity is insane to me. I feel like murder is one of those things that if you're too stupid, just not don't do it. You should never murder anybody. But it's just crazy to hear a story like that and coming from people who never watched CSI. I don't know. This whole thing is it's really dumb. She is a very, very, very stupid person. And I feel like that part of me is absolutely flabbergasted at the level of stupidity and audacity that she had pulling what she pulled. Jeez.
Murder him and you'll get
Christ.
10,000 euros. 5,000 euros in advance right now. And if successful, quote, this day will be more beautiful than any other day on earth. She also sends him an 18-minute voice message where she's enthusiastically screaming, no mercy, no mercy. Make sure you shove the pills deep in his throat.
Okay.
They played all that.
Yeah, in the trial.
Bruh.
Obviously, the testimony from Vulcan and the corresponding evidence is damning to say the least. But her attorney tries to spin it. Her attorney says, according to my client's own statement, this specific allegation of wrongdoing presents itself in a completely different light. The claim is that a man proactively approached her, not the other way around, and allegedly offered to kill her brother-in-law. That raises a distinct set of questions, entirely independent of whether she genuinely desired the act or took the offer seriously, or whether she might have subsequently withdrawn from the plan. They said a whole lot of nothing, but they're basically trying to be like, maybe she was testing him to see if he would do it. She did give him the 5,000 euros. She did. And Vulcan argues in court that he just did it to get some easy money. You know, she has money and she's also a bit stupid. That's a direct quote. He testifies that at the trial. But the interesting thing is, like, the prosecutor's like, thank you so much for testifying. So you're actually arrested for fraud. Because regardless, you took money and did not deliver a service.
You took money and you didn't kill someone? That's a
Yes.
fraud?
Yes. So they arrest him for fraud.
You're
and
kidding me.
They also charge him with tax evasion, which is apparently a very German thing. Like, they take tax evasion more seriously than the Americans.
That's crazy. That's considered a fraud?
Yeah. Maybe he tried to get a lower deal
What?
eventually, but he was, yeah. And
I can't believe this.
He got sentenced to, he had his own separate trial. The fake hitman had his own little separate trial, and he was found guilty and imprisoned for a year. Because,
Wait, how is that? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's probably something in their code, like their legislation.
Okay. You think it will happen in America too?
No.
I cannot imagine
No,
this being
because
fraud though.
We have very specific laws for conspiracy to commit murder. Maybe they don't have like specific laws, so this is the one that fits the best.
But what I'm saying is, let's say he never intended to kill and he still took the money. He's like, I'm just here to scam someone.
That's fraud. I think that's why they charged him with fraud, because he's not like trying to kill, so he's just a con man.
Okay, this is weird. Okay.
Yeah, it's all very strange, but they get him for fraud and tax evasion because he didn't pay taxes on the 5,000 euros he got in cash.
Yo.
And as if this case can't get even more confusing, the main prosecutor theory is that this is a doppelganger murder, and that's actually what it's known for just when it goes viral on a global scale. But that also kind of has its plot holes because it's an escape where nobody flees. If she got someone to be a doppelganger, killed them so that she could flee,
Right.
she doesn't flee.
Exactly.
Sherry is literally
She
arrested
stayed.
driving around leisurely through town. That's how the arresting officer describes her demeanor. If she killed Khadijah to take her place as a dead body, would she not skip town and start a new life? She doesn't do that. So then some people argue it's because she was waiting for Rowan to get arrested. She's not trying to die and disappear and start a new life. She wanted the police to arrest Rowan for her murder and then she would leave. She was gone girling him. But that also necessarily doesn't make sense because there's no indication that she was tracking Rowan, tracking the investigation. She was genuinely just hanging out. By the way, she also went back to her gas station groupies
knew it.
after she was dead. And
knew
they're
it.
like, aren't you supposed to be dead? And she's like, I'm in some shit. Some people are after me. They're trying to frame me. Anyway,
Girl.
Yeah, this is wow.
It just doesn't make any sense, which then leads to a black magic theory. And this was a theory that was heavily debated in court. Eventually, the court denies it. A lot of the black magic theory comes from humans doing what they do best and kind of just being idiots. So in Sherry's car, when police search it, they find two things. Two small pieces of paper folded together, one into a triangle and then another one into a square and then taped together with scotch tape and then wrapped in foil. When they're unfolded, people discover writing on them that nobody can decipher. And one of them has a picture of Sherry and her ex-husband Rowan taped to the back, but the words, no one can decipher the words. So this theory comes about that Sherry killed Khadijah as a human sacrifice so that Rowan would come back to her. That's why she doesn't flee or escape town. She stays. When they ask about this paper, Sherry's like, I've never seen that before ever in my life, which is refuted by the fact that her fingerprints are found inside. After you unfold the scotch tape and the foil, it's like inside. Then there were news reports that Sherry had been online searching specifically for a magician. So all of this is coming together until they're able to find out who wrote this undecipherable words on the paper. It's a religious leader in the Yazidi faith. They're called sheikhs. She's looking online for a religious leader, but the way that they translate it is like she's looking online for a magician. Because the word they use to describe their religious leaders in Yazidi sounds like magician.
Okay.
So they're like, she was looking for a magician, dark magic. So then she finds one and the prosecutors find him. They bring him to court. They're like, tell us about this black magic that you're doing. And they're just basically talismans. So, you know, in religion, when you want to be blessed or you are looking for specific things in your life, religious leaders in certain religions will write talismans for you, you know, on pieces of paper. But the whole questioning gets weird because he's illiterate. So he wrote it, but he can't tell anyone what it means.
There's no meaning. It's just bunch of scribbles.
Yeah, and like the prosecutors don't believe that. So they're like, no, it's black magic. Just tell us it's black magic. And then he's like, no, actually, I'm genuinely illiterate. And they're like, no, we don't believe you. And then they make him try to read it. It was just like a whole thing. And then he was like, it was revealed to me in my dream. So that's why I wrote it.
Okay.
What is going on?
The judges ultimately rejected the theory of a human sacrifice, which means why the hell did Sherry and Shakir kill Khadijah? Maybe instead of focusing on Sherry, the answer lies with Shakir. Because nobody can figure out what he has to do with any of this. Most people believe he is the one that physically carried out the killing and stabbed Khadijah. Medical examiners say that it could have been a man, it could have been a woman based off of the stab wounds, but it's really important. So in Germany, for murder, you get a life sentence, but you're eligible for parole after 15 years. Unless there's special circumstances, and stabbing someone 56 times is a special circumstance, which means that you would be eligible for parole after 25 years. So Sherry and Shakir's attorneys are like, no, she's the one that stabbed her. And then they're like, no, he's the one that stabbed her. And everyone's just trying to figure out. And it's just, I don't really think it matters. Throw both of them in for it. Khadijah's dad says, in court, I faced my daughter's killers. I was only 10 feet apart from them. What do you want to say to Shakir? I want to eat him alive. I want to devour him whole. There are text messages between Shakir and Sherry, and the day before Khadijah is killed, Sherry is messaging Shakir things like, tomorrow is going to be wild. There's going to be a lot to do tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. This is the night before the murder. After killing Khadijah, they both head back to Shakir's place. There's no evidence that either of them are romantically involved afterwards. But they part ways, and both of them are kind of on the run, kind of not on the run. They both stop by the gas station. Shakir goes to the gas station too to hang out with his friends. He's got scratch wounds on his arms. And he even tells a friend, I killed an innocent girl for this whore. They're like, who's the whore? Who's the girl you killed? He doesn't clarify. The brass knuckles are found in Shakir's apartment. His DNA is found on Khadijah. The prosecutors, they just keep going back and forth on what Shakir's motive to help Sherry was. I mean, this is a girl that he's only known for a few weeks. Why would he kill Khadijah for her? So sometimes the prosecutors think that it's sex. Sometimes it's money. There's no evidence that money was transferred, but maybe it could be the promise of money. Shakir is silent the entire trial. He does not testify. He never gives a defense. He never tells them, no, this is what happened. Sherry, on the other hand, she gets up on the stand. And she says, let me tell you the day of the murder. My original plan was to just meet with Shakir, but he requests that I bring a can of gasoline with me. So she does. She meets up with him, he takes her phone, and then he guides her to a strange address. She's the one driving. He tells her to park the car, she does, and then a girl walks up to the car, approaches the car, and just based off the energy, it seems like the girl and Shakir know each other. Girl gets into the seat, Shakir moves to the back, and Sherry's in the driving seat, and Shakir is telling Sherry where to drive. They start driving into the forest, but out of nowhere, Shakir's like, pull over, I need a smoke. She pulls over in the forest. He goes, takes a pee. Everybody gets out so they can smoke a cigarette. Once Sherry's done, she walks back to the car to get in, but then she hears a scream. Hey! She whips around and she sees Shakir just pummeling the girl Khadija in the face with brass knuckles.
Oh my God.
Quote, he had brass knuckles in his hand and was hitting her on the head, right on the right side. I think it was against her eyes and forehead. When I saw that, I was shocked. I fell to my knees. I screamed. I was paralyzed for a moment. I couldn't breathe. I saw him continue hitting her head. So I ran over to them and with all my strength, I pushed him away from her and I yelled at him to stop. She was gasping and whimpering. He grabbed my arm, dragged me to the side, and when I looked up at him, I saw his face, his anger, and the way he yelled at me, and I got scared. I thought, now it's my turn. He's gonna come after me. I took a few steps backward, turned around, covered my ears. He grabbed my arm, pulled me towards the car, and threw me inside. And then I turned around, and she's in the driver's side now. She turns around, and Khadija is in the back somehow, lying there. He dragged her into the car. Shakir gets into the passenger seat, and Sherry says he threatened to kill my family if I didn't stay in the car. He wanted me to keep driving, but because my legs were shaking so bad, he had to hold my knee steady as I pressed on the accelerator. He is screaming at me, drive, drive now. Then they get to the road, and at some point he tells her to pull over on a supermarket, like parking lot. He tells her to get out of the car. She gets out the car, and then she hears screaming inside the car, and he's just stabbing Khadija in the back seat, which the police are like, actually the evidence shows that Khadija was stabbed in the forest. But anyways, she says, I was frozen. I fell. I lay on the floor. I covered my ears. I didn't dare look. And then I looked toward the car and I could see the two of them. It was like they were fighting. She was screaming inside the car. Eventually, everything was covered in blood. He walked around the car, threw the knife across the street. He put on a fresh t-shirt, pushed me back into the car, took Rowan's jacket out of my trunk, covered Khadija with it.
She's a writer. She's an author. She creates fantasy on the spot. Like, damn, girl. Sorry, maybe you had like the wrong career. You should have been a fucking fiction writer. Like, crazy. Actually crazy.
He gets in, orders me to keep driving.
You're right.
He had in his hand a new knife. I steered the car back onto the road. He pressed down on my leg again because I didn't have the strength. And then at the end of all of this, she looks at Khadijah's dad in court. I can't get the images of what he did out of my head.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
She spoke with confidence?
Yeah. A lot of people said it was terrifying because she was just emotionless the whole time in a very creepy way. And a lot of people testify about Shakir, and they say that he's actually a harmless guy, which, I mean, I don't know what people's perception of someone can even hold up in court. His ex-girlfriends testify like he's never had any rage or anger towards women. I don't know what any of that means, but
if it's so sweet, how the fuck did he end up wrapped up in this fucking murder for hire bullshit? Like, was he bored? Like, if you're a sweet person, you don't let somebody convince you to kill someone. Like, I'm sorry, but you can miss me with the bullshit. Like, what? Did she put a gun in his head? Do we know if she put a gun on his head to force him to do what he did? I mean, come on. A thriller novel, even. But it would be a dumb one. It would be it wouldn't be a good one, because she's stupid. Again, she is stupid. She is stupid. Nothing, like, there's nothing in this plan of hers that makes sense. Nothing. She just had, like, I'm sorry, but, like, she came in with a dream and smoke and nothing. Like, she dumb. Because obviously the DNA test would show that that's not her. Obviously, afterward, they would eventually find her. But the thing that is the craziest to me is the fact that she didn't even run. She didn't even fucking run. This girl stayed. Bitch, why? Like, if you're gonna do all of that and then stay? Like, did you really want to leave at this point? Like, because I'm sorry, but this is she went through a lot of trouble trying to trap this girl just to end up what? Letting her go? It's just she doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense. But like her decision making in this whole thing is absolutely horrendous. Like, I feel like there was no thought, no logic, only vibe. Only vibe. And vibe is not enough. I'm just appalled, honestly. And yeah, this is just appalling. I don't know why she thought that this was gonna work, but she did it. Ultimately, like, there's not a single time in this entire moment, in this entire shit, where she told herself, maybe I should not. Maybe I should rethink this whole thing because it's kind of dumb. Not a single time. Not a single time. Like, damn. Girl. This is a level of stupidity that I cannot fathom. Like, literally, I cannot fathom this level of stupidity. I don't understand this level of stupidity. If I'm gonna listen to some, like, true crime podcast, I have expectation. And her story is bad because it's just, I don't know. It's kind of just, this should have been an email. Because that's how stupid she is. She should have just wrote this in the email and then move on with her life. But no, she actually had to do it. Like, no thoughts, no common sense, only vibe. And what is the vibe? Murder. Bitch, please.
Something is definitely odd with Shakir. An inmate says that he was given a list of 13 people from Shakir, and he was told that he will get paid per witness that is killed.
Who's paying who?
Shakir is like, here's a list, and he gives it to his cellmate. And he's like, for each person that is killed before the trial, I'll give you money. That's what the inmate claims.
So he wants this inmate to pull some strings to kill some witnesses outside.
Yes. Now, Shakir's attorney is like, that's not true at all. The prison guards, they search the cell and they find a list of witnesses and their addresses with plus or minus signs next to them. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a hit list, but it is there.
What does plus or minus mean?
No one knows. Whether it could be they're going to say something positive or negative about me, or I want them dead or I want them alive. Nobody knows. And just when everyone thinks that this trial is going to wrap up, most people can't even make sense of the theory. I mean, maybe the doppelganger theory is the most relevant, and then they're just kind of dumb that they don't flee. I don't know. That's like the one that most people are going with. Everyone just thinks Sherry is dumb, but this is the theory that she thought. This is the motive that she originally had. Then they bring in, right as they're about to wrap, a man walks in to testify, and his name is Furkan. Some people call him Furfur. He's a local rapper. He says that he has a connection to all of them. He's like, I'm connected to Shakir and to Sherry and to the victim, Khadijah. He knows Shakir through a mutual friend, and he claims that he was dating Khadijah and he went back to Sherry's hotel with her. Let me explain. Furkan is an interesting character. Okay, so he mainly stakes a claim at the local club. He's not a gas station groupie, he's a club groupie, and he is described by people who know him as, quote, Furkan is trying to break into the rap scene. He's a big flashy guy with a 10-foot long cloud of perfume trailing behind him. That's pretty much what he's like. He's like, I'm here now, look at me, so everyone, I gotta be the center of attention. Well, recently, Sherry asked Furkan to go back to her hotel with her. And there was this whole incident. This is what Furkan is testifying. He went back to the hotel with Sherry. She had a hotel room. And she's just like trying to unbuckle his pants, is trying to kiss up on him, and he flat out rejects her. He's like, she was trying to pull down my boxer shorts, and I pushed her away, and I said, piss off, you slut. Okay? Whether this is true or not, it's up for you to believe. He thinks that maybe she was upset that he was in love with Khadijah.
What?
Yeah. So some people are like, either Sherry was rejected and was upset that he liked Khadijah, so she killed Khadijah. Or some people are like, well, maybe he told her to get rid of Khadijah and then they could be together, and that's why she killed Khadijah. Regardless, the day that the investigators went to go talk to Furkan, he had gotten rid of his phone, which is very suspicious. But they state there is no evidence to link Furkan to this crime. There's no investigation into him being part of anything. But it just leads people to wonder if there's a bigger reason to why Sherry specifically went after Khadijah. Was it because Khadijah was one of the only 26 people that responded and was willing to meet up? And is this a doppelganger murder? Or is this a murder out of jealousy? Like, what is it? And I think that's why this case goes so viral. I mean, I think obviously the whole doppelganger classification of this murder and what it's most commonly called, it has all the points that make people wonder what the real motive is. But also, it's just everything about Sherry's demeanor in trial for Germans was so odd. She'll come in covering her face every time with like a packet of folders and papers. And then every break that they get, her mom is just like supplying her with snacks every day. She's laughing and giggling with her family. A lot of German reporters believe that she was actually acting quite flirtatious with her 4 attorneys as well. She kept twirling her hair. But ultimately, both of them are found guilty, which again, for Sherry, that means 25 years before she's eligible for parole. And for Shakir, it's 15 years. Khadijah's dad is very upset with Shakir only getting 15 years. He was really distraught. He says, in the courtroom, I saw things I never expected to see, things that cannot be understood with the mind. But did I see the truth? No. Some netizens have taken to point out that Sherry was delusional, thinking Khadijah was a doppelganger because it's so obvious that they look nothing alike and that they don't even compare. I mean, but with that, that is the doppelganger murder. What are your thoughts on this case? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.
I can understand people thinking that they look similar, but definitely not a doppelganger. Like, let's not go there. But everything else, yeah. I want to track on a pole. She wanna like, what is this song again? Yeah. Next time I'm just gonna prepare my shit in advance. I forgot to do that today, which is why this is taking a long time. Oh, she's sweet but a psycho. Na 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 na. Oh, I was about to say, oh, I didn't see this one. No, I know this one. I know this one. And I want every single one of them disappeared. I haven't seen this one though. But I low-key want to watch something from her main channel. Because, listen, this case was stupid and huh? What is this? Is that like a retelling? Because that's so weird. Oh, okay. That's probably a channel that is basically reposting her videos because I'm like, huh? Yo, that's crazy. Oh, oh yeah, this channel is actually just reposting all of Stephanie Sue's video with different thumbnails. Spooky. Eh? Okay, I think I'm gonna report that shit later because this is scary. All right. Anyway, when's the last time I watched a video? Oh, the Ned Fulmer was the last one that I watched. Let's see. There's a lot of nipple baby things. All right, I'm gonna start the nipple baby saga, I guess. Oh shit, I forgot. I gotta like copyright that all the music because I always get copyright claim.
I really hate the whole thought daughter or gay son debate online. I think there's so many problems with even the concept of the so-called debate. However, if you really want to talk about a child that you would not want, because again, that previous debate is dumb. If you want to talk about not wanting this to be your child,
Can you like explain it just for people who doesn't
Ryzen? No.
know?
yeah,
what
it's
it
like
is?
a dumb debate where they're like, do you want a thought daughter? Which is
Do you
like
prefer
a
a
daughter
thought daughter or a
who
gay
probably
son?
slept with like 3 guys, okay? Or you want a gay son. Both which seem fine. I don't understand what the problem is, but here's the problem. Let me tell you about a child I don't want. You work so hard in life to achieve something, and then you push this 9-pound parasite
Fuckboy.
out of you that's made of flesh and bones. Some people would call it your loving child. Some people would call it a demon crotch goblin spawn. And then you give birth, and this child has 0 talent. You have so much money, and you put this child in all these different classes and
Ouch.
courses, and they develop 0 skills.
Oh my
That
God.
would, listen, I get it. We live in a democracy. We have things like oatmeal in our cookies, raisins in our cookies that I think should be outlawed. It's illegal. Crimes against morality that go unpunished because we are able to exercise freedom. I think it should be utterly illegal for a Nepo baby to have no talent. You have billions of dollars at your disposal to hire a private tutor. You're weird if you're a Nepo baby with no talent. But such is the sick cruelty of fate, right? In Hong Kong, let me tell you about the craziest Nepo baby. I gotta get comfortable because it's about to be a very long story. In Hong Kong, there's this really powerful family, the Xiang family. You know them? Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I actually don't know much.
Really?
I know he's so viral last year, but
Oh,
I
the son?
actually don't know like
So, their kid is a clown, a complete and utter. His name is Shang Zhuo.
向左.
Yeah, but they call him Jackie. But his Mandarin name literally means go left.
All right, thank you, Ryzen.
Go left. He has a brother named Shang Yu. Can you guess what that means? It means go right.
So this other one went right,
And he went left.
and this one didn't go right.
No, but neither of them went right. Okay, so they have 2 sons, go right and go left. But also,
That's actually crazy.
I can't even make fun of it because I have a friend. And before we get into this,
Wait,
I
is
have
this real?
Yes.
Has a brother named
Yes.
go right?
Why
That's
do you
crazy.
think I'm kidding?
What is he
This
doing?
Oh, you'll see.
Oh, okay.
Oh
I love
yeah,
that.
but
Okay.
he's got a brother named Go Right, and I have a friend who has 2 dogs, and she literally named them. Do you want to go or do you want to come? Like, do you want to go is one name. Do you want to come is one name. I'm disgusting. I need to go to church. But before we go into Jackie, we have to know a little bit about Jackie's family and how powerful they actually are and how much of a Nepo baby this guy actually is. And I'm not just talking about rich second generation, fresh off the boat type of wealth. Like, we are talking about their family made some of the biggest stars in Chinese Hollywood, in China would. I don't know. They made the biggest top tier Andy Lau, Stephen Chow, Jet Li. These are top tier Hong Kong actors and celebrities that all rose to A-list status through the movies produced by this family. If you're not familiar with them, I guess imagine in the US world, it's like Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert Downey Jr.
You got this. Okay.
That's crazy. We get it. Yeah.
You get it. These types of people. That's the Shang family. They made them. And if you want to do business in Hong Kong and it's related to the entertainment industry, you basically have to go through his family. And this is where I first learned about Jackie, because his family ran the mob. Huh? I'm not kidding. This is the mob. So in the past, do you guys remember Big Bang Seung Lee?
Yeah.
No.
Of course.
I still get so triggered because there are still people out there online that like literally hate my guts because I don't like him. And I'm like, why do you like him? You're crazy. You're weird, okay? But anyway, he wanted to open up a club in Hong Kong, and then he's trying to open up a club in Hong Kong. Seung Lee, Big Bang Seung Lee, Burning Sun Seung Lee. Okay, you know what? I don't even want to call him Big Bang Seung Lee. Burning Sun Seung Lee gets out of Korea, goes to Hong Kong, and he's like, maybe I want to open up a club here. There's so much money to be made in Hong Kong. Jackie, the son of this insanely powerful family, he goes on to Twitter and he tweets out, if you want to do this in Hong Kong, fine. But don't you dare bring the bad habits from your own country here. Get out immediately. Opening nightclubs, bringing terrible influences into them is unacceptable. Okay, first of all, it's like not a hot response, right? It was like kind of a lukewarm response. It was like weird, but everyone was like, you know what? We hate Seung Lee, so suddenly we love this Nepo baby. He's standing on business. He's standing up for the rights of literally every human being, okay? Amazing, incredible. We love this. Finally, they're doing something right. Seung Lee responds to Jackie through his Instagram story saying, catch me if you can.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
He literally was like, okay, catch me if you can.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
Like, no, what's his like actual response? He didn't say catch me if you can.
Yeah, catch me if you can.
Literally?
Yes.
Catch me if you can.
Yes.
That's crazy.
And everyone was like, bro, if this was in the 1990s or the early 2000s, Seung Lee, Burning Sun Seung Lee would be dead because Jackie's family actually ran the mob. Like, I'm not even being dramatic.
Yeah.
They were triads, okay? I'm not being dramatic. They were literally in the mob. Anyway, but after that Instagram post, Seung Lee never managed to open up any business in Hong Kong. No one wanted to give him a loan. No one wanted to go into partnership with him because as someone who lives in Hong Kong, it would be so dumb. It would be so idiotic because this Nepo baby tweeted out something randomly, but his family is that powerful. And this made netizens so excited. They started calling him Hong Kong security. They called this billionaire boy Hong Kong security.
That's crazy.
And then, you know, Jackie, like I was imagining when I first heard about this, I'm imagining Wang Sutong. I'm imagining like some bad boy wannabe, like, ooh, I'm a billionaire boy, like sitting there like,
I chased him out of the city.
But like, Wang Sitong's visual or aesthetic is not even that.
exactly. But I feel like that's what he thinks in his mind. I think
I think about Wang Sutong now because I always remember. Thanks for reminding me that this man exists. But like, I'm wondering, like, with all the money he has, there's no excuse. But I feel like he doesn't care enough. But like, personally speaking, if I had all this money, I feel like the only reason why he didn't get a surgery is because it's not that important in China compared to Korea. Because I feel like in Korea, he would have 100% gotten a surgery. But that's body shaming. But I'm just saying, because Wang Sutong is a fucking, what, he's a billionaire or some shit? He's like a fucking hugely rich nipple baby. I don't know why I'm saying that, to be honest. pretend I didn't say anything.
He thinks that's what he is. Like, I can imagine him sitting there being like, I'm the bad boy. I say what I want. I say the truth. And then he's just like feeling himself. Like, I picture that, you know? And then I picture that Jackie would be doing that. He'd be like, oh yeah, I chased him out my city. You ever try to do business in my city? I don't think so. That's what I imagined him. But he gets so excited from being Hong Kong security. He stands up. And he says, I will take on my duty dutifully. And he comes up with an internet skit and he posts it everywhere. And
What do you mean internet skit? Like a TikTok?
a TikTok. He posted TikTok. Yeah, he posted TikTok and he's sitting there, hair slicked back, wearing a full suit. He's got long hair. He's a bad boy. And he says, in 3 minutes, I want all of his information. And he looks directly into the camera.
Excuse me?
Are you talking to me?
He's talking to you, baby.
What? See, that's the problem with having a passive personality like me. If I'm at a coffee shop, someone makes eye contact, grab the milk frother. Guess what? I'm clocking in for a 9-hour shift. This is my new life. This is my new job. You'll never see another YouTube video from me because I work at this coffee shop now, okay? Because I'm like, is he talking to me? Okay, then a voice pops out. Boss, reporting. He's deleted everything online. I can't find anything. You can't find it? That's impossible. I need this project done. Jackie stands up in disbelief. He waves a security company contract in his hand. How do I know that? Because it says security company contract on there. Okay. At this point, instead of just being a single security in Hong Kong, he's running an entire security agency in his mind. He tosses the contract onto the ground and says, do you have men? Yes! Men in sunglasses, black suits start walking out, but there's only 5 of them. And also, like, suddenly we're transported into an office building lobby. If I were a movie critic, I would inform the viewers that this is a jolting transition. I don't know how we got from the office to the lobby of the office, but that's not my problem because I'm a mango, not a tomato. In my opinion and review of a movie is meaningless, okay? Jackie is like, that's it? That's it? 5 guys? The employee claps his hand and suddenly more people come out. Now, this is where I think creative choices were made. I think Jackie was sitting there with nothing to do, time to kill, money to spend. And he's sitting there and he's thinking, I'm gonna direct an internet skit, right? But geez, what is that thing that's been trending recently? Something, you know what I'm talking about. It's like sometimes the most qualified person for the job is a girl. But we don't go with her because she doesn't know the difference between a quarterback and a linebacker and a humpback. Like what's a 4-wheel drive? She don't know that shit. Neither do I, but don't
Neither
tell
do
her.
I.
So then we choose the guy. And that's wrong. We shouldn't do that. What's that thing again? Feminism. Pussy power. We should bring women into the skit. We should bring them in suits. So then in the skit, they bring in women next because he's like, do you have more men? And he's like, yes, I do, sir. And he claps again and women in suits walk out this time. But we're not that progressive because tell me why each one of them has a frying pan and a spatula in one hand.
Oh, hell
so I don't
no.
know where the fuck we're going, right?
Really?
Maybe that's how we know that they're women. So they walk out and Jackie's like, let's go. Where? To Hong Kong. East Side. And they transition into a mob scene. Smoke, dramatic lighting. They're all walking like backup dancers to an idol's dance break, like just walking.
Oh, wait a
out there.
minute.
And
wait
then
a
the
minute.
employee says, we don't
The guy
have a
in the front
name
is
for our
kinda
security
cute
company yet.
next to the main guy. Like, let me go back. That's not a cutie.
Out. And Jackie's like, let's go. Where? To Hong Kong. East Side. And they transition into a mob scene.
Like, I'm sorry, but okay. He's kind of cute. I'm just saying.
Smoke, dramatic lighting. They're all walking like backup dancers to an idol's dance break, like just walking out there. And then the employee says, we don't have a name for our security company yet. Let's call it Li Shibai Security.
安保公司还没有名字，叫李世拜安保。
Li what?
Shibai? How do you say loser?
Oh, 失败.
Yeah.
Li 失败.
Yeah.
What?
You lose security.
Loser security firm. Understood. And that is the skit. And that is how people really come to know Jackie. And as you can tell, Jackie is a little goofy, But his family is not goofy. Like, they're actually very powerful. I know it sounds like he's goofy and they're all like, hee hee ha ha, let's just fuck around. But no, let me tell you, it's not even just his parents. His grandpa was a former intelligence officer for the government, a high-ranking military general. His grandpa was also the leader of the Business and Industry Association in Hong Kong. So I'm like asking Tiffany, what is that? Like, he's the leader of the local economy. He is the leader of the local small independent businesses in the city. Like, what is he the leader of? And she was like, oh no, that's the mob. And I said, what? And she's like, I think you guys call it like the triad here or something. He had one of the biggest triads, one of the biggest mobs in China. His grandpa is a fucking mob boss. And I always think about this. Don't tell anyone I told you. But sometimes we get emails now where people are like, hey, you want to interview me? And sometimes we get interviews from publicists who rep people who are like, hey, you want to interview my client that I'm repping? My client's like a former mob boss. Right? And I was like, I was really thinking it over. So I'm talking to the team and I'm like, what would I talk to the mob boss about? Like, what can we even platform a mob boss? And they're like, no, but you know what you can do? One of them was like, here's what you do. Because they know me, okay? They know the types of books I read. They go, here's what you do. You're going to lay the mob boss down on like one of those therapy chairs, like a chase lounger. Okay. And then you're going to sit in like an office desk. And you're going to sit there and you're going to read dark mafia smut to the mob boss and have them react to it. And I said, you know what?
That's crazy.
I can't do that, but I think that's the best idea I've heard from you all year. The year just got started. You know what I mean? But like, please let me know. I mean, that idea never made it out the idea box, but it's not something that we have to give up. Anyway, his grandpa ran the biggest mob in Hong Kong, a triad. And the triad is apparently a sacred symbol, heaven, earth, and man. It's very deep for, just like committing organized crime. But it's more of like a Western thing. They go by Sun Yian. Do you know it?
I don't know it. Sun Yan? What?
Yeah.
No.
Have you ever jaywalked, bro? Like, live a little.
Crap walked.
Bruh.
Live a little. Like, these days, damn, he's been wearing his like compression calf things. He wears compression socks on the plane. Like, live a little, honey. Don't age too fast. I'm just kidding. You look really good though. Anyway, at its peak membership, it had 25,000 members. That's a lot of members. And when the government finds out what Jackie's grandpa is doing, they deport him and one of his sons takes over. But it's not Jackie's dad who takes over because Jackie's dad is 4 years old at the time.
Where?
And I think it would be very difficult to negotiate with like a 4-year-old mob boss. You don't even know what's high value to a 4-year-old mob boss. But more than that, Jackie's grandpa had 4 wives. They all have kids. Jackie's dad was one of the lower status kids because his wife was one of the lower status wives. She was very timid. She was, didn't really know how to orchestrate the transfer of succession and power to her own son. Like, she just kind of let everybody else do their thing. And so Jackie's dad, Charles, grew up the least privileged, had the least money. He had to learn the principles of hard work, unlike the other kids. He was the closest to his younger brother, Jimmy. And then they decide that they're going to go into like the movie industry together. They start making some films. Not all of them were hard hitters. Some of them in the beginning were kind of whack, but they kept going. They took out money to do this and they enter the entertainment industry. This is during Bruce Lee's Kung Fu films are at its peak. And Jackie's dad actually became an actor. He didn't want to be. He hated it. He like really hated it. But like, what can he do when he's so shredded, right? So they're like, you get in. Get out from behind the camera. Get in front of the camera. Mm-hmm. No one's ever said that to me, but I still did it. And so Charles, he dislikes all of this, but he loves film production. So he starts making more movies. He starts getting all of these A-list actors. He makes the A-list actors and he creates Yang Sheng Productions, which later becomes China Star Group Limited. They produced the major hit God of Gamblers.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that
they did
is
that.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm. And then they had Dragon 5. Like he was Dragon 5 and God of Gamblers. Then they have God of Gamblers 2 with Stephen Chow and Andy Lau. Duo that I've never heard of. I'm sorry.
That's crazy.
I know. I need to watch that movie.
That is insane.
It is an old movie. It came out before I was born.
Yeah, but,
okay.
yeah.
And I'm not Chinese, so I wouldn't know. Yeah. But I've heard a lot about how good they are.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna watch
Just
it.
watch what you said.
Yeah, I know.
My
I'm
dad's
scared.
listening.
Wait, which one do you think your dad likes more?
Andy Lau. That's
Why?
literally his, like, that's his Jay Chow, basically. In that generation, like, Andy Lau is like God. Yeah.
So in 1991, they have a Fight Back to School. That I think like they only had like $38,000 to make it. And they have like all of these massive movies that start blowing up. And slowly they graduate to become one of the most influential film companies in Hong Kong. Now, here's the thing with Charles. Charles feels like growing up, my mom was the weakest. This is Jackie's dad. Okay. He's like, my mom was the weakest. So I'm not really attracted to weak women. I don't know. There's got to be some like Freudian shit happening up here. I don't know what. There's got to be some psychoanalyzation that we could
But
do.
the mom is no longer weak now, right?
Yeah.
She's very active on social media and stuff.
Charles's mom?
Oh, not
Charles's
Charles's mom.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so Charles is like, my mom, married to the former triad leader,
Right.
was so weak that I grew up weak. And you know what? I don't want to do this anymore.
Oh.
So then he meets this woman named Chen Lan. She's like this tough Taiwanese
Yes,
woman.
okay.
She beat leukemia. She had a rough childhood. And when she was younger, her mom actually sold her off to like a dance hall to pay off a family debt. And Chen Lan isn't having anything. She walked away from the dance hall. And like dance halls, when you sell them off, it could be, some dance halls are illegitimate. Some of them are like, you know, the dark underbelly of life, right? She walked away from it. She decided she was going to earn money by herself. She started modeling, and she's like this fierce, independent woman. And Charles is like, this is my wife. The only problem is Charles already has a fucking wife, right?
Bro.
So they divorce amicably.
Small problem.
He confesses his feelings to Chen Lan. They get married, and she is everything his mummy could never have been. Like I said, there's some Freudian shit going on, but she is now known as Madame Shang. Her English name is like Tiffany Chen, but most people call her Madame Shang out of respect. And she first relied on all of her past experience to start a clothing trade business because she used to be a model. But then she decides that she's going to get into the entertainment industry too with her husband. And she really is like the force of all of this. He's creative, he's good at his job, but she knows how to handle relations, business deals, and interpersonal relationships and communications.
Okay.
He can do the creative stuff. He can do the administrative stuff. But if you got to close a deal, you're calling her. You're not calling him. She's coming in and she's slapping the paper down and making you sign, and then you're giggling and you just signed away your life. I'm just kidding. I hope that they're not predatory like that, but you get it. And they know how to pick out talent. So they start making some of the most banger movies the world has ever seen, and she becomes such an influential figure. Just to give you an idea, there was this incident where one female actress who was signed to their acting company, Anita, she went to a karaoke club in Hong Kong with some friends to relax after work. And in the next private room, there's this businessman, and he's like, hey, I've seen you on TV. Come here, sit next to me. And she's like, I don't want to. So then he's like, no, come and have some fun and just name your price. She's like, I'm not going to because I don't have a price. And like, how rude of you to assume you're a shameless scumbag. And he fucking slaps her across the face in the karaoke bar. And the man said, no one's coming to save you tonight. And so she's crying. She runs away, calls Madame Shang, and Madame Shang rolls the fuck up to this club, to this karaoke bar, and this businessman is doing 90-degree bows. He's apologizing because they run Hong Kong. Everybody knows Madame Shang, not even just in the movie industry. It's not even just like, hey, you're never going to be an actor if you f with Madame Shang. No, you're never going to do anything in Hong Kong. Another example, Andy Lau, early in his career, an investment in a film failed. He ends up I think $100,000 in debt. And this is a long time ago, so it's probably a lot more now if you factor in inflation. But he goes to Madame Shang and asks her to borrow money. And he's been thinking about this for so long. He's been pacing in his room. This is such a stressful moment. And Andy is sitting there and he's trying to write her an IOU, like a legally binding document. And she puts her hand down and she says, I trust your character.
Oh.
And
Wow.
walks away. I don't even know. I'd take an IOU for $15, I think. That's crazy.
Wow.
And they only get more powerful because they go out of movies, they start investing in real estate, hotels, properties, just they start expanding their influence everywhere. And Jackie Go Left is born. Jackie Go Left wakes up one day.
Jackie Go Left.
And he says, it's in my blood. It courses through my veins. I need to be a movie star. He wakes up and he decides, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna prove to everyone that I can be the best actor. And like, hear me out. He fucking sucks. As a child, Jackie dreamed of becoming an athlete.
Okay,
but when
look, from what look at the little chubby face. But from what I've seen earlier, this little TikTok that he made, you could tell that he's a terrible actor. Now, Jesus, can I talk? I believe that you can learn how to act. You know, there's ways. Acting is not for everybody, but like the way I see acting, everybody can act. But you just gotta know how. And it's not that easy.
he was 14, he weighed 240 pounds, and then that ended his professional sports career. He lost all of his weight because he had a crush on his friend's sister. And then he grows up, he decides, I want to be a model. And then that doesn't work. He starts training under Jet Li. I'm not even kidding you. The Jet Li. So he's like, Jet Li, can you be my mentor? Now, do I want to say that Jackie's nepotism has some say in all of this? I don't know. I don't know if Jet Li has any other students that he's trained like this, but he starts training under one of the greatest martial artists and film stars in fucking history, and he starts training.
Oh, you trying to do kung fu, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And as he's being trained by Jet Li, he's doing all these things, getting extra roles in some of the projects that Jet Li is on. He's literally just like lurking and being like, can I just like sit in the back of the cafe and no one will know it's me? And like, I don't even need to have a line. I don't even need to be named in the credits. Can I just be like an extra? And then finally in 2007, he gets his first speaking role. He has an actual name. It's called The Warlords. That's the show. And so finally, his parents see his determination and they think, you know what? Maybe I will invest in a major film for you. So then he's like, oh shit. Okay, I gotta get better. He spent 7 years training in martial arts, physical conditioning under Jet Li. And I'm thinking that's actually really crazy and impressive for a Nepo baby.
Yeah.
Like he must be really good, right? So throughout the 7 years, he says that he's broken all of his fingers. He's injured his knee. He's dislocated his spine and neck. He has been decapitated, put it back on. Like he's just saying a bunch of shit, okay? Like what? But he has continued. He has persevered. There's clips of his past training days. It doesn't look as goofy as I thought it would look. It actually looks pretty difficult, but the bar is really low for nepotism. So like it looks okay, but I'm like, at least he's trying. So there's all these training videos, and after training for 7 years, in 2016, his parents finally say, you know what? I will do something for my son for once. I will invest $70 million into the movie League of Gods for you to be a star. Not only is it a big ass budget for a fantasy film, it's also an all-star class. You've got Huang Xiaoming. We can never escape bad boy CEO daddy. We're talking about one of the oiliest men in China, the greasiest of all the men in China. We also have Angela Baby, ex-wife of Huang Xiaoming.
Damn.
Fan Bingbing.
I remember.
Also talked about her. Jet Li, Tony Leung.
Yeah, God, yeah.
Sorry, God. Okay. And so on and so forth. Jackie plays the crucial role of Li Zhengji.
Lee what?
I don't know. I'm so sorry that you
Li
have to
what?
sit
Li
through
what?
me, okay? That's his name in the character film.
Oh, what?
Yeah. The film is a spectacular flop, so I don't think you need to know.
Oh,
You know, it
damn.
scored 3 out of 10,
Out of all of these stars?
and it won the most disappointing film of the year.
Dang.
Netizens mocked it, saying no film in the next 3 years will be worse than this. And if there is a film worse than this, it will be its sequel. The worst
my
movie in
God.
history has just been released. Some even joked that it should have been renamed The Legend of Jackie instead of The League of Gods because he only got this role through family connections.
But like, okay.
So then in 2019, director Johnny To, he's repaying a favor. He's like, hey, Charles, I'm going to replay a favor for you. Okay, well, what do you want me to do? Make my son a star. So this is how rich people do it, I guess, right? You don't repay someone's favor by picking them up at the airport during rush hour. No, you fucking make a multi-million-dollar film franchise based off of their talentless children. So that's exactly what this director does. He says, I'm going to craft the perfect world, the perfect IP for your son. It's going to be called Chasing Dreams. And if you translate it directly, it's going to be called My Boxing King Boyfriend. It's pretty straightforward, okay? But Jackie plays the male lead. And the film is just, it's 4.6 out of 10.
Okay,
Box
so it's
office
better?
performance abysmal. One viewer commented, after watching My Boxer Boyfriend, all I want to do is wash my eyes. Yeah. Someone says, I'll give 1 point to Jackie and 9 points to his father for getting him this role. In the film industry, Jackie found himself at a dead end after this because it's just movie after movie. Nothing is hitting. It's just not, even if you have a film filled with A-list actors, it's still flopping. I mean, everyone says the same thing about Jackie. Just stay at home and be a Nepo baby. You don't need a job.
Damn.
Why do you need a job? Why do you have to assault us with your shitty movies? Don't get a job.
Damn.
Enjoy life. Be a second generation rich kid. Go buy a Lamborghini and drive circles in Hong Kong where all the girls are. But no, you insist on infiltrating our movie theaters, our homes. I don't understand. And I'm just going to walk you through the trajectory of what happens when
That's
a Nepo baby
tragic.
really tries to do something. In 2023, he stars in a movie called 100 Yards. This is like his last ditch at acting. He's like, please, somebody take me. And this movie, so up until then, everyone only knew him as the Nepo baby who gets roles and he kind of sucks at acting. But nobody really cared about him. Like, he was not a meme. He was not nothing. He was just Jackie. He was just go left. And so finally, 100 Yards, the movie comes out. And it's this action-packed martial arts film about two men fighting for the position of martial arts master. But in the end, not a single person pays attention to this storyline. Everyone thought it was a comedy because of Jackie's acting. And you can tell that he really went full improv on this. There were just so many scenes. Okay, so there's this one scene where he sits there and he's talking about the descendants of martial arts families just marry amongst themselves. Outsiders can't stand us, and we can't stand them either. And he's talking to somebody in the room, but that person in the room is standing behind him cryptically. I don't know why. I don't know when this ever happens. Like, when do you have someone standing behind you and you're giving a monologue? But this is the most important part. He's sitting there, and he's got his, okay, so he's got his finger resting on the side of his nose. Okay? And then he has his thumb, like, cupping his chin, like this.
So he's hiding his mouth.
Okay. Like a philosophical thinker. Later, he's asked about this scene because this scene goes mega viral because everyone goes, what the fuck is he doing with his hands? And so later on a talk show, they ask him, what the fuck are you doing with your hands? And he says, isn't this what people do when they think?
Huh?
Which is exactly what someone who has never thought a thought would think about how to think about how someone would think but never really thought about it.
I feel like in his defense, clearly there was no acting coach on set. Nobody to guide him and tell him things that he needed in order to be successful, because this is tragic.
And you could also just tell from his gaze, the way he's like looking 50 yards into the distance. And then he gets up from his thoughts and somehow there's a flight of stairs right in front of him. This is the movie scene. And he runs down the stairs, but it's like one of those stairs that's like, and then there's a platform and then you got to go down the other step. Like it's a, you know, it's not like a straight down shot. He stops at the platform and that person that he was talking to, he stops, looks up at them and says, I remember all the good things you've done. If you ever run into trouble, come find me. I will definitely repay you. And then I'm thinking he's going to run down the rest of the stairs. The line delivery, subpar. But this is what gets me. Before he runs down the stairs, he fucking smacks himself across the face.
What?
No, literally. Okay, so he's sitting
Why?
there, philosophical thought process, gets up, runs halfway down the stairs and says, I will repay you if you're ever in trouble. And then slaps himself across the face so hard. There's no way that this is like edited. There's no way that you edited in the sound effect of a slap. It's so hard. His brain is turning from the way that he slaps himself and you can hear the crispness of it. And then he runs down the rest of the steps. And then later, on
At
a
least he
talk show,
didn't
they're like,
fall.
was that scene planned? He said it wasn't scripted, it was improv. Why did you slap yourself then? Because if it's not even planned, like people usually try to avoid the slap scenes because they don't want to get slapped, even if it's in the script. Why would you slap yourself?
Yeah.
Deadpan. That's how you show that you're very genuine. Like, you need to show how brutal you can be
What is going
so that
on?
somebody else feels your sincerity. Like, what is my sincerity to you? Okay, I can promise you something. Boom! You know, I smack myself across the face.
I need to wash my hand, but also, what the fuck?
Okay.
I don't get it.
And
Okay,
so-
I think I'm starting to get it now.
Yeah, so then...
I'm starting to get it.
Yeah, so a lot of people... a lot of like Chinese netizens say that he's abstract.
Abstract.
Yes, a lot of Chinese Americans, because we love a neurodivergent king, they're like, I think he's a little neurodivergent. I think so. And we love that. Like, look how cool he is, okay? But you know, the internet does what the internet does because they immediately started making memes. And so you have one picture of him. Oh, you know what? I wish I had my computer.
It's okay, describe it to me.
Okay, so you got one
you
picture.
make it better than
So you got one picture where it's like a screenshot of him standing in the stairs, right?
Yeah.
And then the next picture right next to it is like full exposure up, full brightness up, edited, same screenshot. What do you think it is?
I don't know.
Just Jackie turning on the noise activated lights in the studio by slapping himself.
你的好，我都记。遇上难事，要找我，我一定会。
Oh shit. The slap turned on the light. Oh shit.
So they're editing the scene with all the exposure.
Oh,
Wait, I
that's
feel
so
like I missed
creative.
something.
And then later in the movie, there's another scene where Jackie is writing. Full brightness up, edited, same screenshot. Started making memes. And so you have one picture of him. Oh, you know what? I wish I had my computer.
It's okay, describe it to me.
Okay, so you got one
you
picture.
make it better than
So you got one picture where it's like a screenshot of him standing in the stairs, right?
Yeah.
And then the next picture right next to it is like full exposure up, full brightness up, edited, same screenshot. What do you think it is?
I don't know.
Just Jackie turning on the noise activated lights in the studio by slapping himself.
你的好，我都记。遇上难事，要找我，我一定会。
Oh shit. The slap turned on the light. Oh shit.
So they're editing the scene with all the exposure.
Oh, fuck. That's so creative.
And then later in the movie, there's another scene where Jackie is riding on a horse-drawn carriage. And guess what? He's sitting on a horse-drawn carriage. Horse-drawn carriage. This is not an Amtrak.
Cupping his face.
Yeah. And then one of him is him cupping his face, deep in thought. And then the next picture of him, he accidentally poked out his eyeball. So it's all red and inflamed. Because it's a horse-drawn carriage.
Oh, he's
It's
moving.
like you're fucking rocking around left and right. Why are you sitting with your middle finger about to go straight into your retinas?
I don't understand. Don't they have acting coach in China? Someone should have told him that. Someone should have been like, don't do that. Do that instead. Don't play it like that. Play it like this instead. Because I feel like not giving this obviously bad actor no guidance is obviously not going to help him. Like, you gotta, you know? Because he clearly doesn't know shit. Help the man. Damn.
He's just posing the whole time. And everyone said the true art is that he didn't poke out his eye. And so this is how he goes viral. This movie, he goes viral for the very first time. Anytime someone sees him in public, they immediately do the hand pose. It becomes almost like, I don't know, what kind of, was there any pose? And it's like the Wakanda Forever pose. Like, for the longest time, every red carpet, you see it. You see, like, all the kids and the fans, they meet an actor from that movie, they do the pose. Everyone's hitting the hand pose. Everyone. They meet Jackie, they're hitting the hand pose. And then this is another thing in the comments. When people see a video, they don't really understand it, right? They hit the hand pose because they're thinking about what this means. It becomes becomes a full-blown national meme. This is like national pride level meme. I almost poked my eye out. That was scary. There's another part in the movie that ends up going viral later, but there's this part where I think like his dad dies and he's supposed to like salute his dad in the end. And he lifts his hand all the way up, but like just his index and middle finger up. He's like pointing at the sky. He turns his back and then he like points 2 fingers at the sky.
Okay.
And netizens edit it. Okay. And there's like a mass in front of him.
A what?
A mass. You don't really know what it is. Is it a building? I don't know. And then you scroll all the way up. And he's just asking Yao Ming for a cigarette.
What the fuck?
Like, stick a cigarette in between my fingers. He's just asking Yao Ming for a cigarette.
What the fuck? That's so weird. What? He's like
everything is a meme. There's another part in the
God.
movie where he and the other guy are fighting, you know, because this is a martial arts movie, and it looks really good because I thought it was in slow-mo. It's not. This is real speed. They're going so slow, and it's not Tai Chi. This is martial arts. They don't have to go that slow, but they're going so slow that everyone said it looks like 2 grandmas in the park doing like, you know, the little exercises, doing Tai Chi. That's what it looks like. It's crazy. Oh, and then, okay, can I just say this has nothing to do with Jackie? By the way, Jackie's wife, Bia is in this movie. She's beautiful. She's stunning. And then there's just Jackie. Like, they're each other's romance, like, love interest, and it's just weird. Everyone's confused on why she married him, and then they remember that he's very wealthy and probably a nice guy, right? But just the visual looks were a miss. And then there's this other scene. This whole movie was a mess. There's this other scene where this guy dies. In the movie, he dies, and you know how when someone dies, they die with their eyes open, and in the movie you're like, no, and they dramatically hold the neck and the head and it's like lolling about, and then someone comes and like closes their eyes, and they're like, no, right? But in this movie, no one cared that this person died, and so as they're dying they're falling to the floor, grasping on, and then they grab their own 2 hands, they're still alive, and they close their own eyes.
So it's a comedy. What's going on?
It's not a comedy. It's not a comedy.
Oh, like he's trying to make a final gesture of I'm dead and nobody give a fuck.
We don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think he just watched all the other movies and he really thought the scenes where they closed the eyes were really cool. But they didn't have anybody else to close his eyes. So he closes his own eyes and
With his own hand.
Yes,
Right.
with his own hands.
That's
But
so
he's also
weird.
still alive. So he could just blink. Like manually close his eyes with his eyelids. But he doesn't. He uses his 2 fingers to close his eyes.
Which is goofy
and then
as hell.
he dies. Okay, so to give you an idea, this film is released September 28th, 2023, and the movie does so badly they have to take it out of theaters within 9 days. And after an entire month, the film only makes $209,000. To give you an idea, the full budget was $30 million, and they make $200,000. $200,000. But Jackie becomes a meme. And everyone is like, yeah, this is comedy. Some people said, I have internal damage to my stomach from holding in my laughter. This is the best movie I've seen all year. People are saying their stomachs are hurting. They have to go get stomach medicine. They have to go get Tums because they're laughing so hard. And people start memeing the shit out of Jackie. And because his name is Go Left, they start making songs about him. And they do this thing. Everyone starts doing the hand pose.
Oh, Lord.
And they look left, look right, because go left, go right. Which way do I go? And then they look in the front. And everyone starts sending this meme. And they go, shut up, I'm thinking, when they're thinking about something. A bunch of netizens start recreating it. It becomes a Douyin TikTok sensation. You have kids just like out on the streets of Shanghai, setting up their camera, doing the go left, go right, go ahead, and then they slap themselves across the face. It actually somehow makes it to India, where a lot of Indians start doing it as
What?
well.
The
So
Indian
Chinese
too.
people are doing it, Indian people are doing it. It becomes a meme. There was like this Indian chef that was like, whatever dish, like I gotta think about what dish to make my patient or my client. I don't know what
My customer?
my customers, okay? And they're like doing the hitting the hand pose. He goes viral. And Jackie was not expecting it. And you can tell because he never expected to make fans. There's parts of him where after all of this goes viral, Douyin trends everything. He's walking down the airport and there are people screaming and he doesn't know what they're screaming at. And he looks genuinely confused. He looks like a normal dude just trying to get out of the airport. And then he takes a moment and then he's like, me? And then one of them goes, Jackie, you're so handsome. Jackie, where are you from? Where are you from? So usually fans will say this, right? Because it's a pickup line. It's a pickup line. Like, where are you from? Where are you from? But Jackie's so serious because he's so abstract. And he says, I'm from Hong Kong, but my family's actually from Guangdong and Henan. And the fan immediately goes, no, you're not. You're from my heart. And Jackie doesn't know what to do. He buries his head in his hands because he's getting so shy. And he doesn't even know where to look. And then he just runs away. He skitters away because he's like, I can't do this. And then he runs away. And then he starts, now that he knows that people are really into him, he doesn't know how to behave anymore. So there's this press conference for the movie. And Jackie doesn't know what to do. So as everyone's talking, because you line up all the actors and they have their mics on stage and other people are talking, so he doesn't know what to do. So he's just looking around. Hiya!
What?
Someone will be talking and he'll just, yeah.
Why?
I see the neurodivergence. I see it. Bless his heart.
No one knows. And then he randomly is just doing kung fu moves on the side while they're talking. This is a press conference. And he's doing kung fu moves and then he knows he's awkward, so he'll stand back up again and look around, and then he'll just dunk, 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 out of nowhere. He just
just moving his body?
Yeah, dunk, dunk. Out of nowhere. Okay. During a Q&A session, a fan asked Jackie, Teacher Jackie, you look so handsome during the fight scene. I would love to work under you as your disciple. Could you teach me a few martial arts moves? Jackie's so into it. And then you pan to his wife, Bia, who's also on stage because, remember, she was in the movie. She's just giggling to the side. She's not even hiding it. Because she's like, I know what they're saying online. You're a fucking meme, dude. Okay? So she's just thinking about him running down the stairs, slapping himself across the face. But instead, he's like, yeah, of course. And he takes it so seriously. He's like, okay, so here's what you do. And he starts fake hitting the host with his martial arts skills, dead silent. Dead silent. And then, because it's getting so silent, Jackie starts doing his own
sound effect.
Yeah. So he's like, bong, bong, pa, pa, bong, bong. Bong, bong. And then at the end, he looks to the fan and he goes, did you see? I'm like, what do you mean, did you see?
Why was I supposed to
hear?
Yeah, did you hear that? So then another actress responds, yes, we saw. It was very entertaining. But you could tell how unimpressed she was by her voice. But he felt really good about it. He felt really good about it, and that's all that matters. And then at the end, they bring out all these high chairs for everyone. They're bar stools. So you know how a bar stool, you have a place to put your leg because it's tall. You can't really sit and have your legs dangling, right? Because that'll give a lot of people the ick. He looks like he doesn't know how to sit. He looks like this is his first day sitting, okay? He sits down. His feet can't reach the floor because his legs are too short, which is why they have the bar seating. So at one point, his legs are circling the air. Looking for something to put it on. Okay, instead of just dealing with the awkwardness though, because he's like, shit, I've been helicoptering my legs for so long and now everyone knows. So then he tries to cover up the awkwardness by standing up. He just gets up. Everyone's sitting down and they're talking and they're looking at him why are you standing up? Out of nowhere. Also, his movements are very abrupt. So he just stands up and you're whoa, okay. And then he's looking at the crowd and he starts putting his hands in his pockets. But he's wearing skinny jeans. We don't know if the pockets are even real pockets. You know those pants that come with the pockets sewed in, a lot of the trousers?
Yeah, he's looking for the pocket?
Yeah, so his hands are caressing his thighs for an uncomfortable amount of time. He can't locate them. But then he's like so shy, he looks at the audience and he thinks like, you know what, I'm gonna act like this was my whole plan. So he gives up mid-plan. He gives up looking for his pockets. And then he just sits back down. All of this happens in like 10 seconds, but it feels like 5 minutes long. And then when he sits, he decides that he is going to lock himself into the chair this time. So instead of just putting his feet on the little ledge where you put the feet on the bar stool, he wraps his ankles around each leg of the chair. So he's fucking locked in. If the chair falls, he's gonna fall. Like he can't even, I don't know why anyone would think to do that in this type of environment. And then he's got this weird posture. His shoulders are all scrunched up. And then he's like wearing this sparkly jacket with skinny jeans. People said like it was just like a very new experience for them to look at Jackie. Like this felt very novel. And then there's a picture where they say, look, it's Bia and her aunt, her little auntie, and it's just Jackie because he had like long curly hair and he looked a little crazy at the time. Everyone started feeling really bad for Bia because they're like, this is your husband. Oh, apparently that's a big diss in China. So if you see like a messy dude just being a mess, you turn to your friend and you say, hey, look, it's your husband. Like people get genuinely pissed off apparently. And so people would say like, hey, look, it's your husband to Jackie. But then they're like, but to Bia, that really is her fucking husband. Like imagine what her friends are saying. And then people are saying like Bia is constantly having to remind herself to not fight with the money. And then people started saying, like, this is our first time really understanding Jackie, and people didn't know how to put his personality into words. So this was the best way netizens all came to an agreement. I've never seen netizens agree. I think if you took a poll in China in the major cities, they would all agree on this. They said Jackie is the type of person that would just suddenly hop into a cab mid-conversation. You're having a conversation, a taxi rolls up, he gets in, he didn't even say bye. That's who Jackie is. Yeah. Jackie is the type of person, you have plans to meet him at the mall at 10 a.m. He goes there 3 a.m., nothing's open. You get there at 10 a.m., he's asleep on the ground. He's been here since 3 a.m. When he sees you, he'll start jumping up really high 3 times and then jump in a cab and leave. And then...
Wait, these are what people are saying?
Yeah. And then you call him and ask, why did you leave? What happened? And he'll say, you were late. But no, you were early. That's how they describe Jackie. They say there's no word. Even abstract doesn't fit his word. You can only understand Jackie through these hypothetical, very specific niche situations that we've concocted in our minds. Yeah, and someone also said, Jackie is the only second-generation rich person who could spend billions of dollars and make me laugh. Like, usually because people get pissed off. They're like, God, look at you. Filth. But they're like, I honestly would have such a good time. He's not quirky. He's not weird. He's just so unpredictable. That's how people describe him. Yeah. But he's also kind of funny. So right after this, you know what he does next? He gets a big brand deal with a shampoo company. Oh my God. I'm gonna recreate his shampoo ad, okay? So he does his iconic nose pose in the commercial deal. And then he flips to the left and he says, look left, look right. And then he tosses his hair dramatically. And then this is 360 degrees. And then he holds up a shampoo bottle. This is my weapon. Pantene. You deserve it. And then he, sprints down the stairs. If you ever run into trouble, don't find me. Find Pantene. Okay?
Does he slap himself?
No, the whole ad is basically a big self-parody. Like, it's funny, it's cute. And this blows up so hard that it actually catapults him to be invited to the 2024 Weibo TV and Internet Summit. And at the summit, he wins the award Annual Outstanding Artistry.
Wow.
Hey.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
My boy's making it.
And when he gets up there, guess what he hits?
The pose?
The nose pose. Yeah. Did you know universities and schools started using the Jackie pose? They called it the Jackie pose. Okay, so here's the very interesting thing about schools in China now. So really big universities or schools in China that do attendance, but they have so many students, they can't keep track of every single student. What they do is every single day, they make you take a photo. But because you can alter the photo or use the same photo or pre-plan the photos, like maybe you take 10 photos in a day, they actually have you come in and do a very specific like hand symbol of the day. So you go in, you log into the portal, and it's like, do the hand symbol. school, and it's
This
like
is
this
so
hand symbol.
bizarre.
And then you
Really?
take a picture, right? But a lot of universities, they started writing, do the Jackie pose. So then you'd have to show up to school, and then you'd have to hit the pose and take a picture, and that's how you get attendance for the day. I know. Is that not crazy?
Imagine Americans start doing this.
It's
now hit the wall.
definitely a choice.
Honey, that was so old.
What?
You're so cute.
What do you mean?
Hit the wall?
What?
Oh my god. No, it's okay. I like them old and geriatric.
That's crazy.
So then Jackie wins the award, and that's not even the highlight of the entire thing. The highlight is his clothing. He comes in wearing what can only be described as like, do you remember that one Met Gala outfit that Rihanna wore that was like a robe that was hanging off her shoulders? That is what Jackie wore, and it was like backless. You could see his bare back, but also you could see his nipple. So he's like hitting the poses on the red carpet, and then he like leans his shoulder out, but then it goes down too low, and then his nipple is out, and then he's like hitting the poses, and then suddenly he looks down, he sees his nipple is out, and then he looks around, and then he like uncomfortably puts the shirt back on. Like, it's a mess, right? So he's wearing this robe where you just see so much. It's very yahe. You know what yahe is?
No.
It's like very revealing and sexual in Korean, like yahe. Ooh, yahe, right? So it's very yahe. And he's like showing his nipple. He's doing the poses. And everyone is like, what is this fashion? We've never seen such fashion, especially in China. Like, this is East Asia where everyone is like, you know, what is this fashion?
Yeah, cover
this
it
is,
up, yeah.
Yeah, what's going on? And so all the comments are like, how did Bia fall in love with him? Even Madame Xiang can't control her son. Everyone's confused. They want to know who owns this robe because it seems like it's Bia's robe. It seems like it's mom's robe. We don't know. And then pictures start swirling online. So that on the red carpet was a white robe, but then pictures start circulating online where it's a pink robe. So everyone's like, oh my God, he's got two fucking robes. Turns out it's a color changing robe.
What does that mean?
In
Wow.
different lighting, it changes colors. Oh yeah. So
That's
he
kinda
like
cool.
put dedicated design into this robe. Yeah, and then there's this clip that goes viral because he's sitting next to Dylan Wang. And during a break, I don't even know if Dylan Wang knew the cameras were on him. Dylan Wang turns to him and goes, why are you dressed so sexually today? You know?
为什么今天穿的这么性感？
But he doesn't mean it in like a nice way. It was like a really nice way. Like, he's like being so fun, right? He's like, oh, why are you dressed so sexy today? And then Jackie goes, today, I just wear my mom's clothes. And then that starts going viral because, like, what do you mean? You just wear your mom's clothes.
I just borrowed my mom's clothes
Yeah,
today.
so then this starts going viral, and then Jackie looks at it, and he's like, you know what? Fuck yeah. So then he starts creating Like a Flower. That's what people start calling him. They called him Like a Flower when he wore the robe, and they start calling him Like a Flower because he starts dressing fully in, like, very feminine-centric clothing.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen some photos. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he looks fucking good, okay? He looks great. Honestly,
he
I
leaned
like
into
his
it,
style.
and he ate it, right?
Yeah, he ate. Like, pretty much not every outfit. There's like 2 outfits where I'm like, what the fork is that? But every outfit, I would say he kind of ate. Like, his very first live stream, he decides that he's going to start live streaming because his mom, Madame Zhang, does a lot of live streams, and she sells like consignment luxury handbags in her live streams. And so he's like, you know what? I'm going to try. On the top, he's wearing normal. He's live streaming publicly in a mall. And you can see as people are passing him, they keep looking down at him. But like in the live stream, you can't see what he's wearing below. So they just, it's like they're looking at his butt and looking like, what the fuck is happening, right? He's wearing like, you know, those tights, but they're like ripped. They look like some, like, you know, those like emo goth girl tights that are hot.
Ooh.
He's wearing that underneath.
Whoa.
Oh yeah,
Like-
with shorts.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was just like a lot.
Okay.
You know, because it was kind of hot,
Different
right?
choice.
So everyone's looking and everyone's like, what's happening right
He's
now?
like, today,
Yeah.
I'm wearing my wife's clothes.
Yeah. And he just keeps leaning into it. And everyone is like, you know what? At this point, I'm kind of into it. And he ends up being, I think, over 12 million people tuned into his very first live stream.
Damn.
He sold millions of dollars worth of products. It was crazy.
Live streaming channel is
Jesus.
on a different scale.
Different scale. It doesn't even, I think it was like $7 million his very first 2 days in sales. $7 million.
Wow.
And everyone was just commenting, I didn't know being abstract could make you so much money in life. And his style only gets crazier from here. At one point, netizens spotted a bizarre pair of shoes online that was around $800. The way that I can describe it, have you guys ever seen the fucking tabby shoes that everybody hates on TikTok? The Margiela, I don't know.
Yes.
The Margiela shoes where it's like they split in half like cow hooves. That
Oh, yeah.
You have a pair of.
I have a pair
that
as
your
a gift.
sister bought you as a gift.
Yep. I don't understand.
But I don't know what's worse. I don't know if it's worse that your sister bought it and was like, no, I think he'll like these, okay? Or that you got him and you go, hey, I think I like these, right? I don't know which one.
I say it to be nice. I'm just kidding.
They are very comfortable, no?
Honestly, it's like I usually like to wear socks.
What do they do to your socks?
It's caught.
Oh, it gets like butt clenched?
Yes.
And then like the socks are almost ripping off your feet?
Yes.
Because it's like pinching your shot.
Yeah.
It's like on your socks.
Yep.
And then every time you move, the socks come off a little bit.
Yep.
If you don't wear socks, which toe does it split up? Is it like big toe, second toe, and then it's
Big toe, honey. Big toe.
Just one big toe on that side?
Yes.
That's crazy. That's illegal.
What do you mean?
What do you mean one big toe? Guys, we're pickleball athletes. Our big toes fell off. Anyway, it's like that, but every single toe is defined. And they're massive. So it's like stompers, okay? $800. Only one pair sold. It went viral. Right? Everyone was like, I bet Jackie bought him. I bet Jackie bought him. Haha, you're so funny. He comes on a talk show. He's fucking wearing them.
Wait, so internet guessed it.
Yeah.
What?
And he was wearing them. So that really threw netizens off. We didn't know what to expect. And then he does an interview on Douyin, and this is an official Douyin interview. It's like if YouTube was like, hey, Stephanie, YouTuber, you want to sit down for an interview? Oh my gosh, I would show up dressed prim and proper. I'd be like, are you my boss? I don't know what's going on. Who are you? What are we? This is incredible. This is so scary, right? He shows up. Sexy orange carrot is his inspiration. If he made a Pinterest board, sexy orange carrot. You type into AI, don't do it. But if you were to type into AI slop. Sexy orange carrot, human with pigtails. This picture would show up and it's fucking Jackie. He's got an orange tank top and then he layered another orange spaghetti strap like top over it. And then he let the straps fall off his shoulders. So he's got shoulder strap. He's got a regular strap, okay? It's like a touch of sexiness. And then his hair is in pigtails.
Oh yeah,
Short
I think I saw.
pigtails.
Is that the photo I've seen? Okay.
Yes.
That's
okay.
crazy.
Sexy.
I didn't know that was the interview outfit.
For Douyin. And even the rubber bands on his pigtails were orange. And then he dabbed orange blush on the tip of his nose. He had orange eyeshadow on, right? He looks like a carrot. It's objectively, like it's not even about the fact that he's wearing clothing that I guess some would deem feminine. I think slay, right? However, this is objectively an offensive outfit on anybody. I think you should be apprehended. I think you should go straight to jail if you wear this outfit. This was also being filmed in December in Beijing. That's as cold as New York. 20, 30 degrees. Even the interviewer is like, we look like we're in two different seasons. I'm in winter and you're in summer. He doesn't even know what to say. And during the interview, he's talking very seriously about how he's a kung fu actor. And then he ended up as a meme. And at first it was very disappointing because he trained so hard to be a martial arts actor. But then he just decided that it was a gift from God. He said the biggest disappointment, though, that he became a meme was that his movie flopped and the rest of the team had to suffer from it.
Aww.
It wasn't even him. He's like, I don't mind being a meme. It was just that, there's production staff, there's producers, there's directors. And I felt really bad about that.
So he's likable.
Yeah, and everyone's like, damn. I like a Nepo baby so much. What's happening right now? That's the feeling everybody has. I mean, and he said, I don't mind that I'm a meme and people make fun of me because isn't the entertainment industry to entertain?
Yeah, okay.
And I'm entertaining people. And so even if it's not the way that I meant it, I'm just having fun and I'm passionate about fashion and I really like what I'm doing. He even said, you know, why is it fine when women wear men's clothing? I think fashion is just an emotion. It's the feeling that you have in the day. It's something that makes people happy. Fashion is also timeless. It doesn't have a time frame. It doesn't have gender. It doesn't have race. It doesn't have anything. It's just what you like to wear. And then everyone's like, okay, fine. We fucking love you. You're so annoying. You're so annoying. And then out of nowhere, Jackie decides to get a haircut. Why does this make the news? I'm about to tell you. There is this hairdresser that recently went viral on Douyin. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to tell you. I want to be unpredictable too. I want to be like Jackie. When they go right, I want to go left. Exactly. So with that being said, that's where I leave you for part 1 on this riveting cliffhanger of a haircut. Stay tuned for part 2 or you'll never know. You'll never know what happens. You'll never know about the twin sisters who are dating. What? You'll never know about, I know, it gets weird. You'll never know about how he married his wife. You'll never know about the hairdresser.
What about his... Sorry, let me finish, Chu.
He likes to snack while I tell Mots.
What happened to his brother? Are we talking about his brother too?
Oh yeah, we're about to talk about Go Right. Oh, yeah. So with that being said...
Are we talking about last year, 2025? Like his big year? Okay.
Oh yeah, we're talking about his big year. So with that being said, stay tuned. And I'll see you in the next one.
Wow. I think that's the next one. I'm just gonna let it play. As long as it's not too long. What time is it? Damn. Bum, bum, bum. Wait. No, I missed it. It hasn't started yet. What do you mean? It's about to happen. Hey, yo. I'm reacting to my friend reacting to a fucking TV.
7 people doing different things. That's...
Oh, Cordell's about to fuck my makeup up. I already know.
And then I'll come up to you, bad. And then...
Oh, they do the heart rate challenge. Oh, but I don't even know if I can stream that.
The fucking course tonight's the heart rate challenge. I feel like I want to make him like regret it, dance on him like real fucking good.
Okay, wait. I might. Yeah, I'm gonna pause my stream. I don't think I can stream that on YouTube. Cause it's gonna get real sexy up in here. All right, but anyway, I'm almost done with my makeup, so.
Fingers sucking up, you feel me? I'm making the ass clap in everyone's face.
Bro, you know the
Plus, I
only
want
way
to eat
we're winning
something.
this is if as soon as all the girls
But I'll come back later for
podcast,
video games.
and then they just tell us when it's finished.
Peace.